Look for someone snacking, 47. I hope he chose something tasty. This should be his last meal, after all. That is the door to Rebecca's room. Edwards is right. Power never dies. It only changes hands. And his hands, well, I figure the world could do a lot worse. The Queen's diary. From the looks of this, we're in luck, 47. Shah has hired a contract killer and targeted Dawood Rangan. This has to be some sort of power play. I wonder what might happen if you eliminate Rangan and call Shaw afterwards. Clearly, Rita doesn't want to be disturbed. Try sneaking round the back. 47, I'm seeing Lang with a couple. It looks like he's taking pictures using his phone. Might be an opportunity for you here. Your target is leaving, 47. Get him before he escapes. The target has returned to the kitchen, 47. I suppose this concludes the tour. Catch you later, Mr. Black. We'll continue our conversation somewhere less compromising. That is Viktor Novikov, head of Sanguine and ringleader of Iago. Quite the resume. Right. These gatherings are shrouded in mystery, so we have limited intel on what to expect on the other side of the walls. One target down. Nice work, 47. Next up, Sophia Washington. Very clever, 47. They will not discover the body there. Tell me, was your heart set on becoming the next Constant? The thought must have crossed your mind. Bloody hell. That was a close call. But we're not in the clear yet, 47. You need to take down the Washington twins, and fast, before they activate the kill switch. Go, now! The clock is ticking. Jinnu has his blade out, 47. He's about to kill the hostage. The Revenant Alexa Carlyle and her 3 adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlyle's sham funeral. That is Vanya Shah taken care of, 47. Are you planning on outsourcing all your work to the Kashmirian from now on? Good evening, 47. Intercepts have placed members of the target's entourage in Sapienza, and this may lead you to the target himself. The chaos of Bosco's epic film production will, no doubt, provide cover for your infiltration, and, I'm sure, a number of opportunities to engage him. Good hunting, 47. Looks like Knight is on a smoke break. Try again in a little while. A ceremonial robe of some sort with a note from Janus attached. The note is interesting. Janus has asked Helen to do a few repairs on the robe before he leaves for his annual trip. He even put a date there. This is valuable information, 47. Mr. Quinn, Diana Burnwood. We met in the Black Pyramid. A battering ram has injured one of the strike team, point man by the name of Burgess, and according to those militiamen, Maya Parvati oversees training. Sounds promising. I suggest you infiltrate the strike team, 47. Perhaps you can relieve the hapless point man of his duties. The printing crew spreads fake propaganda in the name of Crystal Dawn, the Pan-African Liberation Movement. This encourages Moroccan citizens to rise up and take justice into their own hands, which of course is exactly what Zaydan is counting on. Very clever. Now, according to the printing schedule, the crew is out hanging posters, and they are likely to wear masks. 47. Dragon Eye has picked up the hostages and is moving them towards the ship. Shit. That was premature, 47. Quick, get him out of sight, then finish the mission. The clock is ticking. Documents acquired. 2 objectives remaining. That mechanic is in your way. Sneak up and subdue him quietly. First things first, we need to gather some intel. As far as I'm concerned, I'm looking at her. Maison is confirmed killed. Well done, 47. Good thinking, 47. It's time to read Mendola his misfortune. Pardon the pun. Calls for a cabernet. Good afternoon, 47. The Cardinal's security team has locked down the Sapienza Church. A small group of demonstrators has gathered outside to protest, but they are being kept away from the target and the church itself. Intelligence indicates a sizable team has secured every approach to the church and the target. Nothing you won't be able to handle. Good hunting. I'll have information on your next target shortly. Well, you've certainly placed yourself at the crossroads of history. Nicely done, 47. Oh no, the bride and groom have noticed that there's no wedding cake. They do not look happy. We have enough information, 47. A large cache of weapons, ether biotech equipment, a link to the Crystal Dawn, and whatever is on that PDA. I'm not sure if the Delgado cartel is buying or selling, but that is more than enough information for our needs. The target is assigned to the mess. Look for someone cooking in the field kitchen. That is Athena Savalas, billionaire banker, Providence Herald, and bane of the middle class. Job done, 47. Head for an exit and I'll wire the money as per usual. Nicely done, 47. With a little more adjustment, this should make for an electrifying performance. Both targets down. Well done, 47. Head for an exit and we'll speak again soon. The target has begun streaming from the first floor, close to the Voltaire suite. All targets eliminated, 47. Contract complete. I'll have the money wired to your account. Good work, as always. The Wilsons are throwing a barbecue and everyone's invited. It sounds like Nolan Cassidy has some interest in the party as well, but for some reason, he's unwilling to go inside. Maybe you can help fix whatever's wrong in there, 47. This particular uniform should get you access through the staff entrance. Just act normal. That is P-Power. Real name, Paul Powers. Celebrity tattoo artist and reality TV star. I appreciate all your hard work. The target is in the area immediately around the main house. Still clinging on to your self-image, 47. This is interesting. It looks like Vanya Shah hired the Kashmirian to kill Dawood Rangan. Well, since he's already eliminated, perhaps you should call Shah and let her know the contract is fulfilled. Welcome to Paris, 47. I've been unable to gain any information about the whereabouts of the target. However, there are reports of sudden mobile phone outages on the upper floors of the palace. Good hunting. Doris Lee is attempting to evacuate. Stop her, 47. I'm sure there's a lonely mechanic somewhere in the building. All right, a signal of some sort. Let's see what happens, 47. According to the young fashion blogger, Novikov has agreed to do a live interview. This could be a good time to catch the sanguine CEO off guard. The location, however, is currently unknown, and in any case, the blogger needs a replacement lens for her camera. May I suggest you help a girl in need? While Vanya Shah has ensconced herself in the overgrown remains of an old train yard. Today is the anniversary of Isabella Caruso's death. Silvio Caruso will be visiting her grave and has ordered a fresh bouquet of flowers. His visit would be a good time to catch him alone. That is, provided the flowers ever arrive. That's Maison taken care of. Nice work, 47. Your target is getting away, 47. He'll be in his car in a matter of seconds. Slipping out the back door? Good choice, Initiate. Improvisation is the key to success. That's the guest list. It's time for Mr. Giggle's final performance. You're all set, 47. Time to kill the competition. It's unfortunate, 47, but we must contain the virus here. The board will consider all extraordinary eliminations to be permissible targets. I think the crime scene has more clues, 47. Collecting pictures of celebrity entrepreneurs now, 47. What are you thinking? One of Janus's many diaries. He's apparently been the chairman of the Ark Society for years. He stepped down very recently, but is still attached to the society. Well, 47, this is valuable information. This is certainly interesting, 47. Dawood Rangan has contracted a hired killer, the Kashmirian, to eliminate Vanya Shah. Well, with Shah already eliminated, you should get in touch with Rangan through one of the city's payphones and let him know the contract is fulfilled. Something is bound to come from it. With a little tampering, the prop teeth can be made lethal. And apparently Dino Bosco does his own stunts. Always good to see an actor willing to die for his art. Suppose so. How are you settling in as head of Dynasty Global? An infected target eliminated. Well done. That is a positive identification on Maelstrom, 47. Well done. Now to the job at hand. I have an update. A representative of the Crystal Dawn is in the Consulate Plaza marketplace. He will certainly have useful information. I suggest you locate him. 47, that man by the counter. That's the Maelstrom. Well, looks like our patience paid off. How about you invite him in for a close shave? So that's Jason Portman taken care of. I wonder what Miss Vetrova will do now. Excellent work, 47. Take the ledger with you when you leave. No! 47, that was our only lead on the partners. Abort mission. Dawood Rangan is confirmed killed. All right, 47. That should provide you with immunity to the Nabazov virus. Welcome to Bangkok, 47. The target has been in residence at the hotel for almost a month, and security is tight, with several other high-profile guests also at the hotel. Good hunting. A safe in Madame Carlyle's office. I bet that's where she keeps the file on Arthur Edwards. Well done, 47. I'll tie up any loose ends, as always. 47. The bride and groom seem to be missing the photographer now. The Argo auction employs an interactive bidding system controlled from Margolis' laptop. If you can get to it, you should be able to shut down the auction temporarily. This could be an opportunity to catch Margolis away from the spotlight. Excellent. Let's find out what kind of dress a woman like Vanya Shah wants. An update, 47. The target is in the kitchen. This is it, 47. Eliminating the 3 owners of Haven should buy Miss Hall the time needed to do a full penetration and retrieval of the Providence partner data. Nice impression. If we win, you can fix me a drink. Anyway, sounds like Ritter is about to have a private meeting with the gentleman in white. This could be useful. 47. It looks like someone living in the Chawl is using this room as a base of operations of some sort. The target is close to the main house. We are close now, gentlemen. Both targets are dead. The butler seems to have replaced the elements you destroyed earlier, 47. He looks tired from all the stress. Why, Edwards finds you, 47. He is untraceable, and he never lets you forget it. He is cocky, and that will be his downfall. So, the building AI known as Kai not only keeps the building running, but it also controls the surgery robot in the operating theatre. That's where Sodas is at the moment. The manual states that the AI will automatically revive any flatlined patient, which could prove to be a problem. But the hospital director does have access to the mainframe. Care to run a hospital, 47? 47. I'm picking up Gregory Arthur's cell phone signal. He's close by. I did not see that coming, 47. Well done. I see them. Damn. Okay, we've got all we're going to get. Go to stage 2, 47. Eliminate Reynard, and preferably without raising suspicion. 1 step ahead of the shadow client for once. Let's keep it that way. Well done, 47. I'm tracking 10 remaining targets. It seems there are several ways to go about this. I suggest finding a pneumatic wrench. So, Madame Carlyle wants a picture taken. If you were to assist with the missing fuse, I'm sure the portrait would be one for the ages. Insight has more on the symptoms. Nausea is to be expected. Look for someone throwing up or sick. Good show, 47. Time to bring Franco down to size. 47, the doctor is about to escape. Whatever you are going to do, do it now. Good work, 47. You've got all the tokens needed to gain access to the initiation. I suggest you find your way to the screening room. There was an ornate door near the courtyard. Hand in your tokens there. I have an update, 47. Interpol has an ongoing operation to apprehend the target, and at least 1 undercover agent is amongst the target's guards. This does not invalidate the contract, so proceed at your discretion. 47, it looks like Roman Cabco is getting his dinner served. Good work, 47. This should give her something to think about. Orlando has been eliminated. Now for Renzo. Target eliminated. Well done, 47. The client should be pleased. Come find me when it's done. Good luck, 47. That is Catalina Delgado, wife to Rico Delgado for the past 11 years. I have some more information here, 47. Fine. I brought him here, Tamara, to get rid of Yates. He's not fit to be constant. You know I'm right. I just couldn't risk it if you didn't. The target is assigned to safe cracking. Something of an expert, apparently. Look for someone setting up explosives on the safe. So, Stephen Bradley likes to go on water scooters, but is unable to go out because the scuba instructor confiscated his keys. Shame. Those things are very accident-prone. 47, the blade has killed Han Ledong. The mission is a failure. Target down. Well done, 47. Now get off the property. 47, that's Fabian Mann, head of accounts at this branch of Milton Fitzpatrick. He should have part of the backup data core on his person. Have you had any workplace accidents? Taking out their communications? What are you thinking, 47? 47, do not enter the isolation ward without a hazardous materials suit. The virus will kill you. You got my message. Odd to be in the same room while you work. Excellent, 47. Madame Carlyle is on her way down for the family photo shoot. Let's see if any memorable moments will play out in front of the camera. That is Tyson Williams, CEO of Haven. A reputed paranoid tyrant, Williams is known for his bad temper and heavy-handedness. This looks promising, 47. Those samples should be exactly what you need. Welcome to Sapienza, 47. The target was supposed to film an advertisement in the ruins outside of town, but vanished shortly after arrival. On-site intelligence has flagged several peculiar incidents in the back streets that may be worth investigating. Good hunting. Target down. Move on to Klaus Strandberg.
Oh, I don't feel well.
Huh. This is most likely the place. Brother Akram must be using this apartment as a base. He seems dedicated. Oh my. So that was what you were thinking. Very impressive, 47. Wow. You're just a social media shitstorm waiting to happen, aren't you? Smart way to get inside, 47. Well done. Interesting. They seem to be having second thoughts about joining the cult. You might be able to use that to your advantage. Both targets are eliminated, 47. The money has been wired to your account. So how does one solve a murder mystery, 47? Motive, means, and opportunity, I believe. May I suggest you ask the suspects for alibis? Or perhaps do you prefer searching the manor for clues first? 47. Make sure you retrieve the viral weapon before leaving. Welcome to Dubai, 47. This is very useful information, 47. Cabco's got a phone. I think he's calling the warden. If he doesn't get a hold of him, Cabco might decide to leave early. Lang is down. Nice work, 47. The target is on the move, 47. Almost certainly to participate in the QA session with Bosco. This should be interesting. I see references to chemical tests and microscope observations. You're looking for a researcher. I like your thinking, 47. With the safety off, someone could make the podium pyrotechnics fire up rather explosively. It's a secret passage. This could explain how the door was locked from the inside. Welcome to Colorado, 47. Your primary target is Dr. Bradley Payne. From what I can determine, he's already infected a number of militia members with Nabazov's virus. To ensure containment, we must eliminate everyone who has been in contact with it. I'm pulling up details on whom that might be, and will pass it on to you as soon as possible. It will be piecemeal, however. I suggest you do not engage the primary target until we are certain that all the infected have been eliminated. Good hunting. That's him. The Constant. Providence's top controller. Everything depends on capturing him alive. The Ether Corporation clearly doesn't trust Caruso, and have ordered their proxy, DeSantis, to spy on him. Paranoid or not, the content of Caruso's safe is sure to be useful. That is Stephen Bradley, notorious hacker, chief programmer at Haven, and rumored to be quite reckless in his behavior. Some say he is passionate about infiltration, yet has no discernible emotions whatsoever. All we know is his name is 47. Bloody hell, that was a close call. Head towards an exit, 47. We're done here. Argus seems fond of his car. If something spectacular were to happen to it, I'm sure he would come running. The ICA has struck a deal with Dave Reddy, one of the two men your target has come to Miami to meet with. Reddy got in some trouble with the Moreno cartel, and the ICA has promised to clear it up for him if he helps us get close to Mark Faber. Reddy is currently waiting for you in the reception area of the Bayside Center. And good luck getting a phone signal. Climbing the cultural ladder, I see. Good work, 47. And you have no guilt? You've toppled governments, changed the fate of nations, altered the lives of millions of people. Zachary's suicide note. Also, a sample of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its authenticity. Your detective skills have gained you access to the Lion's Den, 47. Now, go claim your reward. Scottish accent, hard of hearing. That can only mean one thing. He'll be working with explosives. Check the range, by the windmill. And now, to confront your target. Knight's office should be somewhere on the first floor. Whittleton Creek, Vermont. On the surface, a picture-perfect suburban dream. Wide roads, golden maple trees and verdant lawns. Most residents here are white-collar professionals, ranging from university staff to government employees. Well, What shall we toast to, Mr. Black? That is Kong Duo Quang. That's the last objective completed. Exfiltrate the bank, 47. Miss Hall will want to have a close look at that data. 47, Doris Lee is making a break for it. Stop her now, or it's over. Janus is looking for an old group photo. It might be interesting to see who's on it. It's a dangerous thing, having a conscience. 47, Rangan is meeting someone on a barge near the tower. I believe it's... Yes, it's the Maelstrom, 47. Now's your shot. Dorian Lang is confirmed killed. Welcome to the Maldives, 47. It is a rare occurrence to have all 3 cartel leaders present in the village at the same time. Good, you got the painting too. Now head for an exit. That server looks oddly out of place. He could be Jimmy Chen. If the location is not favorable, find a way to make the target move to another location. Well done, 47. Rose should be in for an explosive surprise next time he checks his email. See that red car, 47? That's the Kronstadt race car with Sierra Knox behind the wheel. Guards are coming from the administration building to fight the rioting prisoners. I have something from inside, 47. Chronic itching is an early-stage symptom of the infection. Look for someone scratching himself. The security tower has caught fire. The riot is getting quite intense. Nobody in that building will survive the flames. It's all they gave him. I just made it a name. Not yet, anyway. She's no doubt high on our client's list, but for now, it's information we seek. Infiltrate the house and get us a lead on the shadow client. Up for some B&E, 47. Shit. So much for subtlety. Get out of there, 47. Mr. Gray will take it from here. 47, you're about to be spotted. Good afternoon, 47. Your target and his brother arrived several hours ago. On-site intel has been unable to conclusively identify the target, so you will have to do so yourself. As far as we have been able to determine, Dylan still has the wristwatch, so this should allow you to identify him. Take care, 47. The target is Dylan Narvaez only. Gonzalez may not be harmed in any way. Good hunting, 47. How about you, Mr. Black? You look like you have something on your mind. I'm not confident that was the real Dame Barbara, 47. Better safe than sorry. Franco confirmed down. Nice work, 47. Doris Lee is down. Well done, 47. Captain Long Kwai, Dragon Eye, eliminated. Excellent, 47. Good afternoon, 47. Trout and McGee have arrived in Sapienza. We know Trout is at the Via Caruso, but you'll have to find out where McGee will be making contact with Mr. Keeble. Security is unusually high, especially with Caruso in residence. Do be careful, 47. You're looking for a target near the main house. One of the soldiers, perhaps. Hard to tell. Lots of armed people there. I bet this would make the Constant come quietly. But first things first, 47. Focus on the target. Mendola's escort is not likely to get well soon, but he does have a job to do. Maybe you could give him a helping hand. Well done, 47. This ought to get Zaydan's attention. This barber is tangled up in some shady business, 47. But even more interesting, he may have seen a picture of the Maelstrom in the hideout of the street gang known as the Crows. That picture would be very helpful to our cause. 47, the race is over and Sierra won. We should expect her to head towards the podium area for the winning ceremony. Why do I feel like he's giving us the runaround? So Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Chef Marcello Ray has hired a new kitchen hand by recommendation, and the two have yet to meet. Could be a convenient way to infiltrate the mansion. FYI, according to our research, Chef Marcello has been trying to replicate Isabella Caruso's famous home cooking, but Silvio Caruso is not impressed. I suggest you give him a helping hand. You could probably slip back inside and give Janus his health check while his bodyguard is busy. Just be mindful of the patrolling guards. The targets are meeting up in the main building. Looks like some sort of exchange. That is quite a measure. I advise you to take it all. 2 targets remaining. 47, you need to focus on Maison. He's attempting to leave the mansion area. A recording of some sort. The note mentions another house. Perhaps Cassidy is using one of the vacant buildings as a base of operations, 47. This should help you narrow the search down a little. You're in. Now look around. The safety protocol should be around here somewhere. Welcome to New York, 47. The Milton Fitzpatrick Bank is open for business, but it seems there's some sort of investigation underway. Expect increased security. Dorian Lang is trying to escape, 47. That is Captain Lom Kwai, a.k.a. Dragon Eye, and his nickname after taking a bullet for the Heavenly Leader. Welcome to Siberia, 47. Interesting. Shah's personal steam pond appears to be out of order. Maybe you should take a look at the rooftop water tanks, 47.
Miss Kensington. Diana Burnwood. We met in the Black Pyramid.
47. The window is closing. Eliminate him now.
There's some sloppy wiring. Just an accident waiting to happen.
Careful, 47. Without a hazmat suit, you risk exposure to the virus. The hostages have been secured inside the shipping container. You have to hurry, 47. Good thinking. Strandberg is on the move, and we know exactly where he's going. Very becoming, 47. Now keep still. Caruso won't be long. This must be about the Maelstrom. This could be your chance to get close enough for a visual identification, 47.
Well, Yates wants us out of the way. There's a reason we're the only heralds going on this tour of his. He's buying time. Question is, for what? I wouldn't be surprised if he considers me a threat, but is he bold enough to defy Edwards?
You should get in touch with Vanya Shaw now that her contract on Rangan has been fulfilled. Use one of the nearby payphones to call her. Maybe you can get her to reveal something about the Maelstrom. That's the last target eliminated. Good work as always, 47. The riot should cover our tracks perfectly. I'll wire the money as per usual.
Well, better get on with it, 47. Next up, Don Yates. Who carries the other one, I wonder? I hope they're not working you all too hard.
47? That man there. He resembles the Maelstrom. Try to get close to him for a visual ID. It sounds like Miss Red has quite a scoop on her hands. My guess is this will cause a major market upset, which is sure to bring the director out from her fortified office. That's the last target, 47. Well done. However, you cannot leave before you've taken care of the infection you are carrying. You'll have to find the vaccine created by Dr. Liebleed. Robert Knox down. Now for the heir to the Kronstadt Empire. I can see from the log that Rebecca was in a conference call from 9 p.m. to midnight last night. The old headmaster of the school Zaydan is using as his field HQ lives right above the carpet shop. According to his son, he kept the school's master key out of nostalgia. Supposedly, this opens any lock in the building. So, a drug dealer from Sapienza has been testing a new method for smuggling Delgado brand cocaine into Europe, baking the substance into souvenirs, coated in a special anti-drug detection paint solution. The dealer has been traveling the globe, testing the method. However, he accidentally broke the souvenir on arrival and needs to mend it before going to see Franco. Well, that was certainly an interesting turn of events. Still, no rest for the wicked, 47. They're adding guards from the security tower to help quell the riots. Ezra Berg has been eliminated. Good work, 47.
I'm serious. You've seen death, been the CIA, as a herald. You've done some harrowing things. Don't tell me you've never thought about it.
That's peculiar. I just saw a spike in traffic from the hotel's network. Looks like a series of automatically dispatched messages. I'll get a team on it right away. So, it seems Sierra Knox has jumped on the revitalization bandwagon and is scheduled for an injection of some sort. The doctor who is supposed to help her with the procedure is preoccupied with a patient who is unable to urinate. Curious situation, 47. Maybe you can speed things up. Stephen Bradley alternates between looking after a strict training regimen and working on a small private island.
Emma Carlyle in the greenhouse. How curious.
You got my message. The target is in the ground floor catering area, 47. Keep looking, 47. We need full disclosure. Excellent, 47. Let's give Sophia her heart's desire, shall we? Nicely done, 47. When Yamazaki finds that pack, she's sure to want to light up in the first place she can find. Target down. Next up, Reza Zaydan.
You've been doing this kind of work for a while, haven't you?
That is Vitaly Reznikov, corrupt warden here at the Perm 14 prison facility. That is Robert Knox, genius inventor, black markets weapons dealer, and Providence defector. You've never dropped a glass in your entire life, I expect. Someone on a laptop, 47. The target is currently playing a game of legendary battle lords, and not doing well. I trust your instinct. Reynard and her entourage must be out for the evening. Well, this should make your job easier. Right. let's get you inside. You'll need a fitting disguise. So, an employee of the Delgado cartel was injured while working on a secret project in the caves beneath Santa Fortuna. Sounds intriguing. I suggest you locate this man's house, 47. Could be a chance to access the heart of the Delgado cartel. A photograph and a note addressed to Sagar the barber.
We're good. Lead the way, Senor Vargas.
That's all targets taken care of, 47. Now gain access to the tornado shelter. Nicely done, 47. Should allow you to move more freely.
Garma has banned the serving of fugu, following an incident where a guest was poisoned by a poorly carved piece of the poisonous fish. It appears, however, that Yuki Yamazaki is trying to sway the chef to slice up his final specimen and serve it to her. Who are we to deny her such pleasure, 47?
Why, thank you, Mr. Yates. Rest assured that I will be following your every lead. Very closely. Zachary was shopping for new Wellingtons last night. Not exactly what you would expect from someone suicidal. Perhaps I should take him out to the woods and set him free.
Nice work, 47. You now have backstage access to Kong's party.
Was that intentional, 47?
Once again, great work, Initiate. This exercise is available for as long as you need. When you are ready to advance, you have only to let us know. 47, identity confirmed. That is the Maelstrom with Rangan on the barge. Let's finish this. You're in. Good work. So this is the auction of secrets. That is Galen Voles. Don't let his home practice fool you. He's no more a doctor than his business partner. Welcome to Paris. The target is already in place and has begun his live stream. This places him currently in the palace kitchen area, but his movements are notoriously erratic. Additionally, he and his entire staff have been cleared to pass all security checkpoints, while other staff will be following their normal security protocols. Good hunting. 47. The hostages are being transported to the ship. You need to act now.
The meat's fantastic. You must have honed your craft for years.
Welcome to the Isle of Scale, 47. The target has been spotted near the Keep Gallery, dressed as a waiter. Look for anyone who's acting out of character. And remember to collect Chen's voice recorder. Interesting. Maybe you should try to spark some of those old stories, 47. Who knows what secrets Janus might reveal?
It would seem someone is about to have an important meeting in this house. My instincts tell me it would be worth identifying whoever it is this woman is waiting for.
This is the vault, 47. The data core should be behind that large steel door. The vault looks even more fortified than we feared. If I'm not mistaken, only high-tier security is allowed in here. Access seems to be restricted to the use of a keycard of some sort.
Oh, nothing. Just something a friend told me. But humor me, Tamara. If you absolutely had to go, how would you choose?
Tamara? Help! We have an emergency, some kind of allergic reaction. She needs medical assistance right now. That is Craig Black, author and aspiring mass murderer.
Mr. Gray is already in position and ready to assist. Good luck, 47.
This might be the place, 47. A garden party would be the ideal location for the sensor to identify his next victim. Ironically, this is exactly what you should do as well. While Tyson Williams roams his large villa estate at the back of the island. There, we have Sinclair's number. Making the call now. Keep your eyes peeled, 47. According to the special effects crew, Dino Bosco demands bigger, more lavish flames. I believe we should give him what he wants. Insight indicates that symptoms include feeling cold. Look for someone trying to stay warm. This might have been useful, 47. Vanya Shah initially hired the Kashmirian to kill Dawood Rangan, but the Kashmirian seems to have told his target about her plan. In return, Rangan hired the Kashmirian to kill Shah as a countermove. Well, with both targets eliminated, this looks to be a dead end. 47, you need to stop Maison. He's trying to get away. This is tricky. His medical records indicate a sudden range of paranoid behaviors, nervousness, and anxiety attacks. The courier has the package and will be leaving shortly, 47. Shit. The Constant has been alerted, 47. Mr. Gray, what's your status? The meeting is over, 47. Craig Black has the weaponized virus now. Well, it certainly appears that Yuki Yamazaki is a fan of yoga. A schedule near the hot springs reveals that she has booked the trainer all day.
Feeling flexible, 47? Watch for anyone checking his phone, 47. Both targets down. Impressive work, 47. And now to deal with the constant. Mr. Gray, what's your status? Everything is under control. The ringleaders have all been neutralized, and we haven't had a single attack in months. It's time to look forward. In case of an accident, the central lab unit is kept perpetually doused in chemicals to stop the virus prototype from spreading. Entering without a hazmat suit is sure to be lethal. The air purification system is able to clear the toxin, but the controls are only operated by senior lab personnel. Madame Carlyle is still going ahead with her staged funeral tomorrow, and she wants to inspect the arrangements. How about it, 47? You feel up to giving her the grand tour of her final resting place? Good work, 47. Let's see if Abiati can talk himself out of this one. Good evening, 47. The annual Snow Festival is underway at the Gamma facility. Dmitry Fedorov is scheduled to be discharged from the hospital tomorrow and has been seen wandering the public areas of the facility, enjoying the festivities. Good luck. This has to be our man, 47. So, armed thugs belonging to the street gang known as the Crows have evacuated a hill in the slums of Mumbai. This could be worth investigating. That is Maya Parvati, Sri Lankan assassin turned pirate turned insurgent. 47. I've marked your map with several points of interest. We're running this mission with very little upfront intel, but these locations could provide clues to help you obtain the information we need. Good luck. That is Ezra Berg, former Mossad interrogator. His services are in demand at the moment. I didn't know you were the nostalgic type, 47. 47, there are just 5 minutes left of our window. Make the most of it. A lawsuit between Janus and a local resident. It might be just what we're looking for. Batty lives in number 432. Another one of the infected is making a run for it. Take him down now, 47. Karen Dar, a.k.a. the Kashmirian, was born in the US, but fled to his mother's native land, India, 20 years ago, following an FBI investigation into a string of serial killings in Texas. He adopted a new identity here and now works as a gun for hire for local mobsters. But who would want Rangan dead? I'm preaching to the choir, then. We'll be in touch, Mr. Quinn. Looking to attract some attention, 47. Very impressive shooting, 47. But what are you hoping to achieve here? According to the note, one of the guards has gone carpet shopping. He will most likely be alone, and the key he bears could be of good use. Good afternoon, 47. The wedding ceremony is about to begin with Lang and his daughter arriving shortly by car. It is expected that they will proceed directly to the open area where the groom and priest is waiting, along with all the wedding guests. Guillaume Maison has been on site all day, preparing the wedding details and entertaining guests. I expect he will also attend the ceremony. Doris Lee is en route via helicopter and should be arriving any minute now. My intel suggests she will not be watching the bride and groom exchange vows, but do keep a lookout anyway. We are working within a limited window of opportunity here, 47. We expect the targets to stay for no longer than 15 minutes. Good luck, 47. Nicely done. Now to vacate the area before things really heat up. Familiar faces, too. Thomas Cross. Klaus Strandberg. Ether. And that's missing banker Eugene Cobb. Well, well. Urgent call. Something about work. I don't think she'll be coming back. That is Silvio Caruso. 47. One of the hostages died. The mission is over. All alone, 47. Time to make your move. Documents acquired. One objective remaining. Escaping patient eliminated, 47. Well done. Welcome to Marrakesh, 47. I suggest you shadow the targets to discover any information about why they are here. I will keep you updated. Good hunting, 47. Lee needs to be taken care of. She's running for an exit. I see. I shouldn't really be surprised, should I? Good work, 47. The money will be wired to your account in a moment. The elusive Maelstrom knows the city like the back of his own hand. Locating him will be a considerable challenge. Your target is down. Now head towards an exit. A disgruntled Kronstadt employee has acquired some dirt on Sierra Knox and intends on blackmailing her. Disguised as one of the racing mascots, he plans to meet Sierra by the old motel. Well, I always did feel that pink was your color, 47. Dawood Rangan has leased an industrial-strength fan, normally used for clearing smoke from construction tunnels. That's a beast of a machine, 47. The crew have put some sort of limiter on the fan output, but maybe you could make a few changes. Good afternoon, 47. We have been unable to determine the target's specific location, but she was sighted in the city centre a few hours ago. Whatever you do, don't accept a cup of tea from her, 47. Good hunting. Very clever, 47. This ought to rattle his cage. Welcome to Miami, 47. Hold on. Receiving it now. Nothing on the shadow client or the other cells. No names, no aliases. I doubt she even knows whom she's working for. Wait, here's something. A message from Robert Knox of Kronstadt Industries. And by the sound of it, he's a Providence operative. Welcome to Paris, 47. The fashion event of the year has already begun. Intercepts place your target on site. It is highly likely that he will spend time at the ground floor reception area. This represents your best opportunity to acquire him. Good hunting, 47. Oh, God, my head is throbbing. I think you lost him. Better double back and fetch him again. Welcome to Advanced Mission Training. This operation originally took place in Sydney. The target was Calvin Ritter, infamous cat burglar, also known as the Sparrow. You will need to infiltrate the yacht, isolate and eliminate your target, and exfiltrate, all without arousing suspicion. And remember, as an ICA agent, you are the most dangerous person in any room. But blunt force will get you nowhere in this business, and a true assassin never calls attention to himself. Good luck, Initiate. She had a lot to answer for, and she would have become a threat, I'm sure of that. It's just, you're not supposed to get to know them, are you?
So, the Kashmirian is scoping out a bridge in an area primarily used as a laundry business. Interesting. It recently changed ownership and now belongs to Vanya Shah. It looks like he's found a new target and is waiting for her to get on the bridge. Perhaps your mentoring days aren't entirely over yet.
So, every year, aspiring ARC patrons compete in a treasure hunt to obtain membership status. The first initiate to collect enough tokens undergoes a private screening with Zoe Washington, which appears to involve a polygraph and electroshock device. I suggest you join the fray, 47. A private audience with one of our targets is just what we need. 47, that man you just eliminated. That was the Maelstrom. Well done. There are no soccer matches ongoing, 47. That was a handoff. Most likely the location of the diamonds. I suggest you shadow the courier. That is the door to Mr. Fernsby's office. Look for your target near the garage by the Red Barn. He's almost certainly one of the mechanics. That's all we need to do from here. Miss Hall should be able to extract the information needed from the Haven servers. Good work, 47. Something in the doctor's notes. Subject sweating heavily, possible accelerated infection. Observe. Subject? Charming. It appears that the target has recently had rhinoplasty. Look for a patient with extensive bandages around his nose. That is Dawood Rangan, producer of mediocre movies and a full-time criminal. His brutality is overshadowed only by his giant ego. 47. Our intel suggests the Maelstrom is hiding somewhere in the city slums. I've marked the headquarters of the Crows on your map. I have received an update from the client, 47. The Carlyle family's home for countless generations. Ezra Berg, legendary Mossad operative who specializes in chemical interrogation techniques, is here at the compound to interrogate a prisoner. My notes indicate he's set up a makeshift drug lab in a garage, and it looks like he's spending a lot of his time in the basement. Could be an opportunity there, 47. Sister Yulduz has left the penthouse, 47, and in quite a hurry, too. Intriguing. You put on his clothes. That's a first. Might just work, though. People do tend to see uniforms, not faces. Be cautious, though. Some people are more observant than others. Not bad, Initiate. Graves is down. Excellent work, 47. It appears Vanya Shah is in the market for a dress fit for a queen. She's sent after a local tailor, but for some reason the man refuses to cooperate. A man of your impeccable taste should be able to fill in perfectly for the tailor. Welcome to New Zealand, 47.
Your target and her double are both preparing for their undoubtedly tearful comeback speech. I suspect Dame Barbara wouldn't settle for anything less than a perfect doppelganger, so a little additional reconnaissance might be in order.
This sounds promising. The militia received a large shipment of nitroglycerin this morning, which is now stored at the munitions depot. Apparently, Rose himself plans to apply and test the gel as soon as a sample is ready. Good work, 47, as always. The money has been wired to your account.
So Cassidy withholds Janus's outgoing mail. He might have written something considered confidential in the past. Might be worth a shot.
So, we know that Janus is expecting to leave Whittleton Creek via helicopter and that he's going to meet the Constant at some event. I think it's time to look inside Janus's house for more clues.
47, if Sophia Washington triggers the kill switch device, all is lost. Take her out, now, before it's too late. You're in. Well done, Initiate.
So, that piece of music sparked a memory in Janus's mind, and we now have confirmation that he and the Constant will be meeting each other soon. Great work, 47. I feel much safer with you gentlemen around. Just one target left. Let's bring this one home.
So far, so good, 47. Now to leave your mark on Mr. Delgado.
The final test is based on an authentic 1979 mission, the high point of Training Director Soda's career as an active agent. The target was Jasper Knight, a famous US chess master exposed as a Soviet spy. Soda's caught up with Knight at a military airfield in Cuba and eliminated him against all odds. This will be your objective as well. Now listen carefully. ICA exams aren't normally this difficult. Not only was the airfield a virtual fortress, but he even added additional guards. Sodas wants you to fail. He considers you a threat, and this way, your unfortunate exit from the program won't raise any eyebrows. Well, if he thinks we're bowing out, he is sorely mistaken. Good luck, Initiate.
It seems that the target is in the process of receiving keratoplasty, most likely with the intent to fool retinal scanners. Look for a patient with an eye covered. This changes everything.
47, Dorian Lang is attempting an evacuation. Stop him.
The target's vehicle is out of commission, 47. His guards are moving him to a safe location.
Back in the day, Janus was known for his obsessive need to archive and keep memorabilia. If he has any microfilm in his house, it might contain something interesting.
That is Ted Mendez, one of the country's most influential military-grade moneymen. This must be connected to Kronstadt. Welcome to Colorado, 47. The militia has taken up HQ at an old apricot farm and appear to be training for a series of coordinated strikes, ranging from cyber attacks to full-blown guerrilla warfare. The Shadow Client appears to unite specialists and radicals from all over the map, mercenaries and terrorists, hackers and spies joined by an unknown common cause. Satellite scans indicate that the command room is below ground inside an old tornado shelter. Only Rose appears to have access, however, so to get inside, you will need to get creative. This environment is hostile and highly alert, so tread carefully. Good luck, 47. Well, we're all here, it seems, except for our guide, Mr. Vargas. Suppose someone ought to fetch him.
47. Maison has gone to the kitchen to yell at the chef. This might be a good opportunity.
You're not the only one who's been busy, 47. I'm this close to becoming the next Constant. I'll be able to dismantle Providence from the inside. Only one man stands in my way. Don Yates. That weasel was the partner's legal counsel for years. He's the top candidate. But remove him from the playing field.
Soda's down. To be honest, I'm not sure what to feel about this one. Well, that's for another time.
Yamazaki awaits. That is Doris Lee, a.k.a. the Goldfinch, former Hollywood stuntwoman of Cheyenne descent. You have uncovered enough evidence to tell Madame Carlyle that Emma is the murderer. Quite the detective, 47. I'm impressed. You're not the only one who's been busy, 47. I'm this close to becoming the next Constant. I'll be able to dismantle Providence from the inside. Only one man stands in my way. Don Yates. That weasel was the partner's legal counsel for years. He's the top candidate. But remove him from the playing field.
Moses Lee, CEO of Kowloon,
has taken a dominant lead and looks invincible. Welcome to Columbia, 47. Smooth, 47. The Sparrow's got nothing on you. The doctor's journal refers to unexpected extreme narcolepsy. The target might be lying down or asleep. Target eliminated and the painting secured. Well done, 47. The money is being transferred to your account. Now find an exit. Well, this is quite fascinating. The bandaged patient is Jason Portman, former CEO of Quantum Leap. According to my intel, he has undergone full facial reconstruction and is scheduled for bandage removal today. And get this, he's going for the full Helmut Kruger look. It looked like him, but that's not the Maelstrom. Welcome to Bangkok. The exhibition should be easy enough to locate, but there are a number of VIPs staying at the hotel, and you should expect them to visit the exhibition along with their security entourages. Good hunting, 47. Interesting office setup, 47. If I'm not mistaken, Rico's looking to add some tattoo work to his already substantial collection. I'm seeing references to assault training in the target's dossier, 47. He's likely to be near the barn or shooting range. It seems Robert Knox paid several visits to a Bayside area food stand yesterday. The vendor, known as Florida Man, sells extremely addictive food, so we should expect Knox to return. Maybe this is a way to catch Knox away from his office. Thousands of eager fans are gathered for the final laps of this unexpectedly close race.
What's he doing? Is he still looking at us?
Good work, 47. Darwood is hurrying down now to act out the final scene with Hassan. Let's make sure he doesn't run out of wind. One of the investment bankers at Milton Fitzpatrick is facing termination. He's got a private meeting with Director Savalas and has been told to register at the top-floor reception. Well, terminations are your specialty, 47. Excellent work as always, 47. I'm only seeing one remaining target.
Your actions have changed the mission conditions. You may need to revise your plans.
Was perfection its own justification? 47, Lang is heading for an exit. Take him out before it's too late. Well done, 47. Novikov should be right here, like a moth to the spotlight. Well done, 47. Madame Carlyle is on her way. I wonder how she will like her final resting ground. Welcome to Paris, 47. I have confirmed that the target is scheduled for several cycles on the catwalk, so the dressing room is a likely area to acquire him initially. Good hunting. I suggest you go tell Mr. Fernsby. The production of Mumbai Hero is coming to a close, but it seems there's a spot of trouble. Lead actress Charisma Hassan has refused to do a kissing scene with Rangan and has got rid of the script by tossing it down an elevator shaft. Shame. The scene features the use of a large industrial wind machine. Could be worth investigating. 47. It appears the door to the tornado shelter is protected by a biometric lock. To gain access, you need Sean Rose's body, or something equally convincing. 47. Dragon Eyes escaped. The mission has failed. I have an incident report here. He's been in a training accident. He's limping. Welcome to the Isle of Scale, 47. Miranda Jameson has been sighted on the island, but her exact whereabouts are unknown. We do know she's not carrying her notebook around with her, so look out for both. Happy hunting. Great work, 47. You are down to just 3 remaining targets. It seems you may have activated a signal of sorts. Dr. Katashi Ito, also known as the Curator, is participating in some sort of medical trial. Interesting. The Curator oversees the hospital's organ storage facility and surely has access to Soda's donor heart. I suggest you locate the Research Assistance Report 47 and find out what this neural implant is for. Could prove useful. That is Blair Reddington, the cold-hearted poacher that our client wants stopped. Be careful, 47. He's used to hunting deadly animals. Here we go. This should help ID him. Sean Rose confirmed down. Nicely done, 47. Good morning, 47. Welcome to Colorado. The target is notorious for changing his appearance and mannerisms. You will need to sweep the compound to locate him. Remember, you must eliminate the target in a manner that appears accidental. Avoid explosives, as these are too likely to draw close attention. Good hunting. There. So much for breaking and entering. I have some information, 47. That is Basil Carnaby, and it seems he's made himself quite at home here. That is Dorian Lang, the Red Robin, former military engineer and father of the bride. Rico Delgado has been eliminated. Nicely done. 47. Guillaume Maison has escaped the grounds. The mission is over. You will find Marcus Stuyvesant near the building's signature art installation. Intriguing. According to Graves' ledger on Sean Rose, he is hypersensitive to the effects of drugs, in particular hallucinogens. Last time he tried, it triggered a nasty psychotic episode, channeling his fear of germs. Interestingly, the ledger also contains a record of his most recent OCD attacks: desk, grandfather clock, and faucet. Rose appears to smoke cigarettes when he gets agitated. What if... Good afternoon, 47. Your target is already inside the Miami Bayside Center. Faber has a full day of meetings planned, and we do not want to risk losing him. Take your time with this one. We are down to the last 2 minutes, 47. Whatever you are planning, now is the time to act. It began with a jet ejection seat, but that's a story for another time. Excellent, 47. I dare say Rose is about to get a taste of his own medicine. Attention, 47. Doris Lee is heading for an exit. This is specific. The target is injured. He's limping. Target down. One more to go. A wall built contract by contract. The target is near the field kitchen. He's a chef. I do hope he's washed his hands. A local hitman known as the Kashmirian is in Mumbai on business. He set up a sniper nest in a tower above a stairwell in the local chawl. It appears he's targeting the luxury apartment belonging to Dawood Rangan, but has encountered a problem. Perhaps you can assist him. The target's signed for an assault rifle and several hundred rounds of ammunition. Look for someone shooting. The target is a mechanic or similar. There's a carpool and garage near the Red Barn. Look for him there. That is Sophia Washington, chairwoman of the Ark Society, professional treasure hunter, and Providence operative. Quite the resume. He does prattle on, doesn't he? Anyway, you're almost there, Initiate. All you need to do is read him the instructions in the manual by the jet, and Knight will take care of the rest. Boy, is he in for a ride. Tyson Williams has summoned a doctor to the island. He must be feeling under the weather. You have some experience with pain relief, 47. Maybe you could be of assistance? What are you up to, 47? Target eliminated. Now locate the Ivory White, as always. Nice work, 47. Showing off again, 47. Dawood Rangan and Wazir Kale, the Maelstrom, confirmed dead. Excellent work. So, Dexy Barrett sends a message to the occupant of the Queen Suite, a.k.a. Ken Morgan. This must be the reason for Morgan's surprise visit. Sounds promising. Clearly, Barrett doesn't want her client Jordan Cross to know about Morgan's presence, so whatever business the two have, they're likely to do it in secret. I suggest you intercept that message, 47. Could be a chance to catch Morgan off guard. That is your primary target, CDC Dr. Bradley Payne. I suggest we locate and eliminate all secondary targets first, 47. One last tango, 47. 47, I'm currently hacking into Krish's phone records, and he seems to have made several calls to Vermont. Neither he or Atlantide are located anywhere near there. I will get back to you as soon as I know more. I think there is more to this than meets the eye. 47. Reznikov and Cabco are almost at the helicopter. Time is running out. Fascinating. According to the blueprint, Sean Rose is building an explosive battery unit for a Link 4 smartwatch. The charge appears to be email-triggered. The unassuming target checks his messages, the virus triggers the charge, and boom. Very clever, not to mention devious. The resident hackers have installed the software trigger on one of their phones, and here is the punchline. Rose himself wears a Link 4. According to the room plan, the infamous Sheikh Salman al-Ghazali resides in Suite 2. The al-Ghazalis are known terrorist supporters, and Salman is surely one of Iago's most prominent clients. He will no doubt have unlimited access to the auction. Better yet, he is also a notoriously private person. And apart from his family, employees, and close friends, few have seen his face up close. Welcome back, Initiate. As an ICA agent, every challenge you face can be overcome in multiple ways. Complete this exercise again, this time attacking it from a different angle. Vary your strategy. Improvise. We will be watching. Ludmila Vetrova can be found in the public sections of the island, primarily tending to client needs. That is Roman Kabko, high-ranking member of the Russian mafia and about to be released from prison. Sierra Knox will need to risk it all if she wants to win for the 3rd year in a row. The Mercs have discovered your boat, 47. They're on high alert, combing the beach for intruders. Proceed with caution. Rico Delgado inhabits his fortified mansion on the outskirts of the village. Well done, 47. This should provide you with the means to get close to Sodas. Always hiding behind the headlines. 47, Shaw is on the move. I think she's heading for the beach area in the slums. Well, they say that money makes people go blind. If that is true, you pick the perfect disguise. We're looking for a mechanic, 47, but not one actively working on a vehicle. He's on a break right now, likely resting. Okay. Unlike mechanics, the cabin crew is allowed upstairs access. I see what you're getting at. Very unorthodox. I like it. The target is at his vehicle, 47. Whatever you're going to do, do it now. Ted Mendez, a defense funding consultant with the U.S. military, is scheduled for a private demonstration of a new Kronstadt robotics project. Sounds like a way to get up close and personal with Robert Knox, 47. Target down. You did it. Now head towards an exit. You rolled out the red carpet just for me. Don, you shouldn't have. Okay. Unlike mechanics, the cabin crew is allowed upstairs access. This ought to work. Unless you think there are more secrets to uncover. This is neither the time nor the place. 47, I've got Lee running towards the exit. You need to stop her. The remote village of Santa Fortuna awaits you deep inside the Colombian rainforest. As previous tests have established, you exhibit an unusual level of enhanced sensory perception. Use your instinct now to sense the position and movement of people around you and identify your target. 47, the blade appears to be feeling quite ill. 47, you have to find a way out of there. I can't possibly construct a viable ID for you in time. I'll have Miss Hall remotely interfere with their search, but we can't keep it up for long. Clever use of the environment, 47. Nicely done, 47. Abbiati is on the move, and we know exactly where he is going. What? No. No, it can't be. Alarm sensors. You'll need to disable the system to get at the necklace, 47. The Kashmirian is moving to an apartment in the Chul. It's facing the laundry area. I suggest we find out what he's up to, 47. 47, the situation is about to become critical.
I will convince him you acted alone. Retaliation for Gray. Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
While Andrea Martinez can be found in her village office or around Santa Fortuna itself. According to intel, Mr. Kong is hosting a private party behind those walls. Invite only, of course, though I'm sure one of the guests could be persuaded to part with their ticket. Francesca DeSantis is evidently having an affair with Caruso's golf coach, Roberto Vargas. A notorious ladies' man, Vargas has turned DeSantis' bedroom into a candlelit love nest and plans to call on her after his golf lesson with Caruso. Well, she should know better than to mix business with pleasure. To shield you from the uncomfortable truth. A thief in paradise. Someone's stolen a USB from Tyson Williams, and now the entire security squad is looking for it. Perhaps you should look closer at those security tapes, 47. Fine. Meet you down there. I need to put on my game face. And head of accounts, Fabian Mann, can be found on the investment banker floor and the top floor of the bank, driving the internal investigation. Good. Cross will be here shortly, and I dare say he's in for a surprise. Target down. Get the painting if you want, and find an exit. I'll transfer the money to your account. Very well done, 47. Owen Cage and Klaus Liebleed are both dead, and the Nabazov virus has no chance to spread. I've relayed the information to the board. They offer their congratulations. We'll speak again shortly. Time to face the dragon, 47. Second backup data disk is secured. Just one to go, 47. Dave Reddy, our informant, is waiting for you in the reception area. If you like, he can lead you to a meeting where Fable will be in attendance. What you do from then on is up to you. That's Renzo dealt with. Now for Orlando. Well, that was a thorough display of surveillance cleanup, 47. I wonder what will happen now. At the risk of seeming flippant, the clown has expired and the money has been wired. Exit 47, stage left. That's cold. I like you more already. A cigar box with a few cigars and a note inside. Well, this is very interesting. The note indicates that the box was given to Janus by the Constant as per tradition, he writes. 47. This could mean the Constant and Janus meet up on a regular basis. Excellent find.
Right. They won't find him anytime soon.
Wait. Okay. Target kill confirmed. That wasn't the one I was providing you intel on, though, 47.
Bloody hell. That was a close call. But we're not in the clear yet, 47. You need to take down the remaining Washington twin and fast before she activates the kill switch. Go now. The clock is ticking.
Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail is top-notch. 47? Someone's coming up the stairs leading to the secured area. It looks like a man. See if you can get close to him.
Welcome to Vermont, 47. The sensor should be somewhere in Whittleton Creek, looking for a potential new victim. He will likely seek out places where people are gathered, so I suggest you look for crowded areas. That is Sierra Knox, reckless daredevil with a violent temper. Quite the handful, as I understand it. Good afternoon, 47. I have an update for you. The Gamma facility has continued their research into the variant 2 Banner-Coleman hemorrhagic virus and may have several samples in storage. I've been unable to ascertain the location of the samples, so you will need to locate them yourself if you wish to honor the client's special request. Good hunting, 47, as always. He's working on an old tractor. Model is MC Boyle PM45 Blue. He's been posting pictures of it on social media. Sloppy. Careful now. He's working with someone else on the repair job. Well done, 47. This should keep DeSantis distracted for a while. Or maybe something that can help us locate the Constant. You're looking for someone working on that big red safe down there. Now is your chance. Use your silent pistol or the client will notice. Sierra Knox is expertly piloting her red Kronstadt car. Nolan Cassidy is down. Good work, 47. Janus awaits your attention. The courier is leaving. You must acquire the package at all costs, 47. Some say that he can choke out a man forever, yet still has time to play the waiting game. All we know is his name is 47. Good afternoon, 47. The congressman has arrived at Villa Caruso along with his detail. Security is unusually high, especially with Caruso in residence. Take care. Good hunting, 47. This looks like a very recent picture of the Maelstrom. With this in hand, picking him out in a crowd should be possible. Marco Abbiati is throwing a political rally at the beach to gain young voters, and getting close to him unnoticed might prove difficult, so pay attention. Men like Abbiati always have private scores to settle, away from the public eye. Good luck, 47. Well done, 47. I dare say divine intervention is in order. What are you up to, 47? Information indicates the target is a boxer, or fancies himself one. Those crates are branded Ether. That's intriguing. Silvio Caruso, the younger brother of your two targets, is chief researcher for the Ether Corporation. But our information indicates no links between them. I wonder how they managed to get this. Now, back to your target near the main house, 47. Welcome to Hokkaido, 47. The Gamma Private Hospital provides cutting-edge medical treatment for the global elite, outside the law if required. The facility is partially run by an artificial intelligence system known as Kai. The AI oversees patient admission to various areas in the hospital and even participates in some medical procedures. You will find Eric Soders in the operating theatre, undergoing a pre-surgery regenerative stem cell treatment, a highly controversial procedure, yet to be approved by Japanese authorities. Yuki Yamazaki has already arrived. You'll find her in her suite or roaming the restaurant and spa areas of the hospital. Soders is scheduled to be put under soon. Let us make sure he stays that way. Good luck, 47. Back to the target in the overgrown junkyard, near the water tower. Adding a bit of spice to Cabco's dinner, 47. Good work, 47. That's the file on Arthur Edwards secured. Time to take care of Madame Carlyle. Let's hope he likes his food, 47. This looks complicated, 47. Vanya Shah initially hired the Kashmirian to kill Dawood Rangan, but the Kashmirian seems to have told his target about her plan. In return, Rangan hired the Kashmirian to kill Shaw as a counter-move. Now, with the Kashmirian out of the picture, there are 2 open contracts available. Maybe you can eliminate one and call the other to see what happens.
That is Sean Rose, terrorist turned insurgent.
47, they're beginning to suspect something. 47, Cabco's assaulting the warden. I think he's killing him.
According to staff, Viktor Novikov's favourite drink is a rather obscure cocktail known as a bare-knuckle boxer. The recipe, however, has been misplaced in the basement. Sounds like a chance opportunity to get on Novikov's good side. She never leaves my side for long. Whatever your plan is, I'll help you if I can.
Lee is trying to evacuate. You need to stop her from leaving, 47.
Warden Reznikov is meeting up with the pilot above the prison yard. What now?
Beyond that, you're on your own, bringing joy to the world now, 47. Well, let's see where this takes him, shall we?
Shit. 47, listen. I've registered another infected patient. The virus is spreading. I've shared the data with you. If you're dressed like a detective, 47, you might as well act the detective. I suggest you go talk to the butler.
Welcome to Marrakesh, 47. The situation grows more tense by the minute. The consulate is under lockdown, but the protests are only a stone throw away from full-blown riots, and Zaidan won't hesitate to unleash his troops. So whatever you're planning, time is of the essence. Good luck, 47. 47, the riot has grown out of control. The warden looks like he's barricading himself now. That is Nolan Cassidy, former Secret Service agent and current Providence Herald. Cassidy is assigned to protect Janus.
Yuki Yamazaki dropped her cigarettes off the lift when arriving at the hospital. According to her bodyguards, this has put her on edge. Maybe you can help quench those cravings, 47. Cigarettes are contraband at Gamma, but surely not everyone follows the rules.
A Q&A session? This could get complicated. A lot of witnesses around. Then again, a distraction of sorts could create a perfect setup.
Elegant solution, 47. With sodas on the operating table, and no hope of getting a second right-sided heart in time, you have effectively killed him without laying a hand on him. This should be a clear message to anyone considering following in his footsteps. Or perhaps you feel like digging a bit more.
By the tone of that conversation, it sounds like Krish is not alone in running this scam. I'll do some digging, 47, and get back to you.
Interesting. Wouldn't you say, Mr. Black?
That is Rico Delgado, head of the Delgado drug cartel.
A dosage table for a lethal poison. Something is circled. Female, age 65 to 79, 60 to 64 kilograms. From the looks of it, you're not the only assassin out to get Madame Carlyle today, 47.
Well, we are here. Basic training starts at 0600 hours.
Nicely done, 47. This should keep things nice and quiet inside the house.
Shooting inanimate objects now, 47?
What are you up to?
Armed with that, I bet you could make the Constant come quietly. Good thinking, 47. The Kronstadt RK Mark III has seen fierce competition from the Chinese Kowloon Heavy Industries' new Racer, the world's largest internet retailer. If Pierce is a Providence operative, he's likely on the Shadow client's hit list. But it's not what we came for. Keep looking, 47.
You have very steady hands.
Well done, 47. The money will be wired to your account in a moment. Target down. Next up, Robert Knox.
Good work. Now we play the waiting game.
That is Francesca DeSantis. So, according to its charter, the Ark Society collects priceless art and historical artifacts in case of a global disaster. And this year, world-famous treasure hunter Blake Nathaniel has donated an Aztec necklace called the Cloud Serpent to the Ark Society's growing collection. However, Blake fears that Sophia Washington, his former lover and rival, who has hunted the Cloud Serpent for years, will attempt to steal it for herself before it goes into storage. Could be just the bait we need.
47, with the contract on Shaw now fulfilled, Rangan would probably like to hear about it. I'd be interested in seeing what he does next.
47, you must stop Lee before she reaches an exit. 47, that's the Maelstrom. You found him. That is Jorge Franco, the Delgado cartel's chief chemist. Good work, 47. Time to find Dalia Margolis. Some say he could make it as a top fashion model,
and that he is the only person to have ever visited the Palais de Valesca dressed as a vampire. All we know is his name is 47. Dressed as a mechanic, you're now allowed inside the Kronstadt pit. I suggest you talk to Grace Miller, chief mechanic. She could probably use some extra hands. The target is off duty. Apparently, he enjoys gardening. Well, it looks like your call triggered something inside the Shah compound. She's making another call. One moment, I'll try to patch in. A note from Ludmila Vetrova. I wonder what she wants from you, 47. Regardless, it would be a shame to keep her waiting.
I managed to gather intel from the hospital's security system. The chief surgeon, Nicholas Laurent, seems to have frequent rendezvous with a helicopter pilot near the remote personnel exit, and rumor has it that the chief surgeon suffers from trembling hands.
Attention, 47. Dorian Lang is making a run for it. You must stop him. 47 is broken in many ways. But he is self-aware about it, and he tries his best to be whole. Over the years, we found an arrangement. You could say he outsourced his conscience to me. I would curate the contracts, navigate the murky moral waters that he was unable to fathom. He was the gun. I was the safety. That's one of the Kronstadt mechanics, but he's away from the pit. I wonder what he's up to. A letter from Emma's mother stating that Emma is the illegitimate child of Madame Carla's late older brother, Montgomery. And listen to this. She claims to have witnessed Alexa and Zachary murder him. There's no family without secrets, 47. But this family seemed to outdo most. That is quite a measure. Though I advise you to take it all. I'm seeing write-ups for being drunk on duty. You're looking for a drinker. Come find me when it's done. Good luck, 47. Final backup data disk recovered. Excellent work, 47. I take it Edwards told you to chaperone me. Any idea why? According to the medical journal, Caruso suffered a breakdown last year. He claims to have found his mother's favorite record playing in the empty dining hall and seen her chairlift move by itself. Upon hearing the service bell ring in Isabella's old bedroom, Caruso entered alone and was later found unconscious by his staff. He claims to have no recollection of what he witnessed inside. Now that is interesting. That should be hidden well enough for the time being. Too many eyes. Meet me at the Olive Grove at sunset. One last tango, 47. Let me just confirm. Yes, that's all of them. Good. We're done here, 47. Get out of that tower and head for the airstrip. Are those eye drops, 47? Looking over Knox's medical files, I see a prescription for medication for chronic dry eye syndrome. Apparently, he's sensitive to low-humidity areas. Like rooms with air conditioning turned to high, for instance. Someone from Janus' security detail buried something in the frog habitat behind Cassidy's house. What could that possibly be? 47? Rangan is making another call. That voice. He's talking to the Maelstrom. Hang on. From the doctor's journal. Subject displaying symptomatic pruritus indicative of imminent skin lesions. Lovely. Look for someone scratching himself. Well done, 47. Vanity is a fickle thing, but I'm sure fireworks are equally so. 47, she's talking to the Maelstrom. I'd recognize that voice anywhere. They're meeting up at the small bridge in front of the train yard. Now's your chance. That PDA will no doubt contain a great deal of information, 47. Take it with you when you extract. He's almost out, 47. Eliminate him now. Callous, 47. I believe I taught you better than that. You should be able to jimmy open the garage door with a proper tool. Why don't you search the pool area, 47? Good thinking, 47. When Novikov takes the stage, he will be right where we want him. Unless, of course, you want to do some more detecting, 47? Good evening, 47. The target is en route and will arrive shortly. Expect her to be escorted by a security detail and to depart again immediately after meeting Dalia Margolis. Good hunting. That is Owen Cage. From the looks of him, it's a miracle he's still alive. Excellent, 47. It looks like Rangan wants a private word. I suggest you humor the man. Be sure to get all of it into your system, 47. Wait. That's not an ordinary resident of Whittleton Creek, 47. This must be one of Cassidy's men working undercover. I suggest you keep an eye out for more of them. Doris Lee has managed to slip away, 47. I'm aborting the mission. Welcome to Sapienza.
Catherine Feller has informed us that the target has agreed to the meeting, but has not yet indicated where it will take place. You will need to acquire the target on the ground. Be aware that there seems to be an increased security presence in and around the town hall. Good hunting, 47. 47? This is one of the Mumbai chawls. My records show a few residential complaints about a new tenant in the building. Something related to strange behavior. It might be worth looking into.
By the way, you were right about one thing.
That's the first backup data disk secured. 2 more to locate. Understood. Alma Reynard's house is just up the beach. Our intel indicates that she and her team are laying low, most likely planning the militia's next strike. From the doctor's journals. Patient presenting with delusional frostbite. Look for someone trying to stay warm. Nice work, 47. Let's help make Bosco's extravagant vision an inferno. Look how far it dates back. Hayamoto, Beldingford, Delvade. The shadow client has been tracking you for decades. Back to the target near the greenhouse, 47. That is Oybek Nabazov, self-declared teacher and cult leader. His second-in-command won't be far off. Well done, 47. Now to make her spirit and body fly. Shah wants a cerulean dress, 47. Perhaps you will be able to source a roll of the right fabric at the local cloth market. That is Brother Akram, your second target. He isn't particularly discreet. Huh. Rico Delgado's brother Hector is trying to win back his old flame, Andrea Martinez. Apparently, Hector has authored a rather slushy love letter. For one of the Sicarios foolhardily stole it from Hector's room during last night's party. I suggest you acquire that letter, 47. From what we know about Martinez, a declaration of love from Hector is bound to provoke a reaction. The target is assigned to the vehicle pool, repair duty. Roman Cabco looks to be violently punishing another prisoner. It's not pretty. That is Captain Ree Thack, a.k.a. Spider Lily, gifted recruiter and intelligence officer in the Heavenly Guard.
Well, have at it, 47.
According to the special effects crew, the final scene involves a remotely triggered explosion and the charges have already been set. Sounds like an accident waiting to happen. Get out, 47. We got what we came for. How could you possibly function on your own? Well, let's see where this ends, shall we? Kill confirmed. Craig Black has been eliminated. So, it sounds like the Delgado's helicopter pilot dropped a package over the jungle by mistake. A red box containing circuit boards for Jorge Franco's new cocaine processing machine. Sounds like a workplace accident waiting to happen, providing Franco can get his machine working. Excellent, 47. I hope you can offer the man some assistance. Head of Security, Mateo Perez, is roaming between the vault area and the teller hall, talking to employees. Well, I suppose it's time to mingle with the elite. Have fun, 47. Here we go. For the office computer, no doubt. Both targets down. Impressive work, 47. And now to confront the constant. Mr. Gray, what's your status? They could be out. Could be lying low. The satellite scans were inconclusive. Only one way to find out, I'm afraid. Good job, 47. You now have both tokens needed for us to get the file on Arthur Edwards from the London Vault. Time to take care of Alexa Carlyle. Well, looks like an accident waiting to happen. That's both targets down. Time to find an exit. We're done here. All right, let's see how well Mr. Bradley controls that water scooter of his. Interesting look, 47. Well, Darwood Rangan is at the tower expecting Mr. Arthur any minute now. No need to keep him waiting. Be mindful, though. He will not wait around for long. Excellently done, 47. Let's make Morgan feel right at home. All in the past, I'm afraid. Keep looking, 47. So, the ever-classy Rico Delgado has commissioned a statue of himself to adorn the village square. Today's unveiling ceremony will feature a local band, and Rico Delgado will attend in person. I suggest you take a closer look, 47. This should be a unique opportunity to engage Delgado outside the walls of his compound. Target eliminated. Well done, 47. Don't forget to pick up the voice recorder. According to our research, Sal Falcone, a private investigator from Milan, has performed services for Silvio Caruso in the past. The question is, does Falcone still work for Caruso, or does DeSantis have an agenda of her own?
Only one way to find out. Nice work, 47. This should be something the fans will remember.
That is your target, Mr. Ritter. Unfortunately, the place is crawling with witnesses. I suggest you follow him, see if you can't isolate him.
One of the infected targets has almost escaped, 47. Take the shot. Good thinking, 47. This is one time the dame won't fool the detective. The target is evacuating, 47. Engage him now.
Huh. Anything you don't like about him?
Excellent, 47. And now for a bit of maintenance. Encrypted. Assuming there's a key, Reynard wouldn't just leave it lying around.
You're also very loyal. My guess is Edward's decision to make me a herald is not too popular with the other heralds. I can see why you'd think that, but no.
47, targets are evacuating. Secure any remaining primaries now.
Perhaps Edward simply recognizes talent when he sees it. Perhaps this is why I am also in the running to become constant. And following this childish outburst, I dare say I am in the lead. Dawn.
A letter signed Wazir. This house once belonged to the Maelstrom, 47. This confirms a connection between him and the woman living here now. The slides depicting Knight's escape route from Cuba to his new home in the Soviet Union are ready for pickup at the reception. Desk security expect a soldier to fetch the slides, whereupon the KGB officer and Knight will likely retreat to the upstairs office. Good luck, gentlemen. I dare say you're going to need it. That is Klaus Strandberg, most wanted man in Morocco. Good afternoon, 47. The private apartment on the upper floor is your most likely location to acquire the target. Intelligence indicates he has a personal guard at public events, so plan accordingly. Good hunting.
To be expected. Ritter's private deck is off limits for mechanics. If assimilation is the name of your game, you'll need a better disguise. Hold on. That mechanic with his back turned? He's what we call an enforcer. He knows his crew and he'll see right through your disguise, so stay out of his line of sight.
Maxwell Rutter, the race chief coordinator, is worried that the powerful new pyrotechnics system, connected to the victory podium, is not exactly tamper-proof. Sabotaging it could have devastating consequences. Well, what are you waiting for? Martinez is down. Good work. Both targets down. Bravo, 47. A fitting end if I ever saw one. The clients will approve. Now head towards an exit. Target eliminated. Excellent work, 47. Time to make your exit.
That was a tad extreme. I should tell you, ICA clients rely on our discretion and dislike collateral damage. So, civilian casualties tend to reflect negatively on your performance and reputation. Maybe I forgot to mention that?
I generally try to keep out of photos myself. So, by the sounds of it, Miss Vetrova is very keen on getting Jason Portman, former CEO of Quantum Leap and current CEO of Much Talk, out of his hut. I wonder why. Agent 47, the apex predator. That is Vanya Shah, self-appointed queen of the Mumbai slums. This must be the satellite transmitter that he's sending his broadcast from. My guess is he's nearby. For whom the bell tolls. Good work, 47. Both your targets should be on their way to their meeting now. May I see that, Mr. Vargas? I believe I blinked. Blending in, I see. Well done, Initiate. 47, that voice. It belongs to the Maelstrom. I'd recognize it anywhere. I know what you're thinking, 47. You won't fit. Target down. Now on to Jordan Cross. One of the infected targets is trying to escape. Take the shot. Good morning, 47. Welcome to Colorado. Overpass shows that the target has arrived. His visit is intended to be an audit, so he is likely to be mobile. His vehicle is located adjacent to the river bridge and appears to be prepared for a quick departure. If the target is alerted to your presence, 47, he may attempt to escape. As always, proceed and engage at your discretion. Good hunting, 47. Maison is heading for the exit, 47. If you don't stop him now, it's all over. Mr. Fernsby clearly didn't commit the murder, but I think you have enough evidence to convince Madame Carlyle he did. Welcome to Marrakesh, 47. Mendola has just arrived. He is unaware of Kong's secret meeting location, but we know that Kong is hosting a lavish party at the Shisha Cafe, and we suspect the meeting will take place nearby. Good luck, 47. Good work, 47. This should keep Caruso distracted for a while. Say, since you're not leaving my side, would you mind slipping down to the gardens? I'm dying for a smoke, and I don't want to bother anybody. I see them. Oh, poor bastards. Looks like Reynard's grisly handiwork, all right. She was never shy about collateral damage. So, in case of an emergency, Strandberg and Zaydan will meet face to face at the center of the underground tunnel. The conspirators can summon each other over the phone using a set of keywords, one of which is locked away in Reza Zaydan's safe. What if...
47, Rangan is on the move. I think he's heading for the beach area in the slums.
That is Jordan Cross, revered and reviled in equal measures. This is Emma and Gregory's room. Old friends and new beginnings. Here, I got you an invitation, just like old times. Tobias, I'm sure you have somewhere to be?
I have the target's cell number, 47. I'll page him. Target eliminated. The money is being transferred now, 47. Now to find an exit. Looks like Colonel New and Captain Thack are having a meeting of some sort, 47. Good work, 47. I'm sure this will be a memorable climax. Target elimination confirmed. Good work, 47. Now for Sister Yıldız. Great work, 47. You now have access to the vault. This might be tricky to spot, but you're looking for someone sweating a lot. Most likely a symptom of the infection. Easy there, Initiate. A true assassin is a precision tool and applies only minimum necessary force.
Clearly, he has an axe to grind with Providence. Big enough to surround himself with murderers and terrorists. Big enough not to care who gets hurt in the process. He believes he's doing the right thing, I suppose. Just like everyone else. The butler noticed the ruined painting. He seems to be quite upset.
That is your target, Marco Abbiati.
The target is highly fit. He has a strict regime of cardio training. Look for someone running or jogging.
Ethos Field Lab. You made it. The virus prototype will be close by. Look for some type of quarantine unit. Lang is on to you. He's trying to escape. Stop him, 47. The money has been wired to your account. 47, an alarm went off. They're evacuating.
Oh God, I'm going to be sick.
The target is back in the kitchen, 47.
A private therapy session with Caruso. Nicely done, 47.
Good afternoon, 47. The Swedish consulate is besieged by protesters linked to the imminent coup. Our intelligence indicates the target entered the consulate with a transport vehicle, most likely carrying weapons. He has not been spotted since. Good hunting, 47. Target eliminated. Looks like no one else needs to worry about falling under Basil Carnaby's spell. Take a bow, 47. Roman Cabco eliminated. Good work. Data indicates he's experimenting on liquid explosives. Look for chemicals, microscopes. A researcher at work. The Haven Island staff is ready to receive you under your assumed identity as Tobias Reaper, a professional thief looking to retire from a life of crime. He wasn't one of your targets, 47. 47, the targets are heading for their meeting now. Excellent work, 47. The money has been wired to your account.
All you have to do is embrace the past.
I'm picking up a conversation, 47. Maison is talking to the chef about the ruined cake. According to the soldiers, the condemned prisoner in the cell was a close friend of Zaydan. However, when his brother, a Marrakesh police officer, was killed during Strandberg's breakout, the prisoner decided to betray Zaydan and go public. Alas, he was caught before he could thwart the coup d'etat. Inez Akwenzi is dead, 47. Locate and eliminate Richard Akwenzi now. The target is a freestyle fighter. Watch for anyone shadowboxing. That is Alexa Carlyle, unofficial leader of the Providence Partners and last one to be alive.
Interesting. Are those cooling sockets?
Some say he once infiltrated a high-tech medical facility dressed as Santa, and that he shouldn't be left alone with fireworks. All we know is his name is 47. Out of sight, out of mind.
Why, thank you, Mr. Yates.
Rest assured that I will be following your every lead very closely. Curiously, Carlyle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. That was a non-target kill, 47. Be more careful, please. That is Cody Haynes, obsessive collector and master of disguise. You can say what you want about Abbiati, but he knows how to sell himself. The Sapienza sunset is known to be one of the most beautiful sunsets in all of Italy, and a perfect photo opportunity for Abbiati. maybe you can fire it up a little more. The target is assigned to firearms training. You're looking for a shooter. Good afternoon, 47. Your target has been spotted on the ground floor and should be easy enough to recognize. We have not yet discovered the location of the Ivory White, however. Good hunting, 47. It looks like Cabco ate something that did not agree with him at all. Another infected target eliminated. Good work, 47. When everyone is looking at the sky, no one is looking at you. A hypothesis, nothing more. The idea that a small cabal of kingmakers, controlling enough corporate and political leaders, could effectively run the world in secret. You're looking for a mechanic, working on one of the militia's vehicles. I'll have information on the next one momentarily.
Target down. It feels different up close.
All objectives complete. Good work, 47. 47, Caruso is heading for his seaplane. Don't allow him to escape. Target down. Excellent. That is Mark Faber, possibly the most elusive man in the history of the ICA.
This all confirms that Arthur Edwards stole everything from Madame Carlyle.
Perhaps you should let her know how bad it is, 47. That is Guillaume Maison, the Kingfisher, former Interpol agent and the owner of the mansion and its grounds. He's taking an inventory, 47. It's not online, though. I'd guess he's using a clipboard. So, Jasper Knight is leaving Cuba on a Soviet fighter jet, but first he needs to test the jet's safety features. Say you could somehow tamper with the ejector seat mechanism. You could presumably get Knight to trigger his own demise. That might just work. Welcome to Bangkok, 47. On-site intelligence has confirmed that the target will arrive shortly and that the Himapan restaurant has had a last-minute booking for 2. Good hunting. Target down. Now it's time for sodas to retire.
Right. Well, it was lovely to see you again, Tobias. Now, if you'll excuse us, Tamara and I need to mingle. Go on. We shouldn't be seen together.
47, the butler has found the ruined painting. He looks to be on the brink of panic. Nicely done, 47. This should put Sophia firmly in the doghouse. That was quite the explosion, 47. Watch for a phone call, 47. Well, I never thought they would use a functioning jet. Good thing you didn't disable his parachute. That's the last piece of the puzzle found, 47. While we didn't end up with the names or locations of the Providence partners as we had hoped, this at least gives us a clear bead on the Constant. We can expect to find him at the annual gathering of the Ark Society in November. It should be enough. Delving straight into the heart of darkness, 47. Good luck. Vanya Shah and Darwood Rangan both confirmed killed. Very nicely done. That must be Janus's casket. Looks like the Archeans really admired him. But no body. Both targets down. Now head towards an exit. Nicely done. Looks like the foreman is going to tour the site and show some of the machinery to Andrea Martinez. This might be your chance, 47. That is renowned literature critic Mike Vogt. He will certainly have an invitation to the reading. And that's the last of them. Poor bastards. The doctor's journal indicates the target is suffering from nausea and vomiting due to ongoing collapse of the esophagus. Look for someone sick or throwing up. We're doing these people a kindness, 47. Target has been eliminated. Though our client will never get their money back, you have given them peace of mind. Well done. Nolan Cassidy, on the other hand, roams the neighborhood streets. A recent arrival, the dutiful Providence Herald is busy making threat assessments and settling in with his security team. Dmitry Fedorov, eliminated. Nicely done, 47. Time to exfiltrate the facility. One of them is trying to escape, 47. Eliminate him before he can get clear. That suit will protect you from any risk of infection. An accident at the Ether Lab has claimed the life of a scientist. His body is currently stored at the town morgue, and a guilt-ridden colleague plans to visit there to pay her respects. Between them, these two have everything we need to infiltrate the field lab.
Like I said, we'll talk again when it's done.
That is Ken the Brick Morgan, lawyer and corporate fixer. All right, 47, we're open for business. We know what the maelstrom looks like and expect him to show up. Patience and shaving cream is what's on the menu now, 47. Maison is moving fast. I think he's heading for an exit. Well done, Initiate. I should say a toast is in order. The money is being transferred now, 47. Time to find an exit. ICA regular.
I always suspected he was a middleman for Morgan, Yates and Cohn. I never took his contracts, nasty piece of work. Below my standards. But plenty of my colleagues were less picky.
Your target is most likely to be in or near the consulate. Entering the Ether Lab requires a key card and a uniform. Luckily, it seems both are within reach. 47. Get this. Information on the Kashmirian's laptop indicates that Dawood Rangan hired him to kill Vanya Shah. Well, with her already eliminated, perhaps you should call Rangan and let him know the contract is fulfilled. You're looking for a target in the garage area, most likely one of the mechanics. Looks like Maison discovered the ruined wedding cake. It appears he's on the phone with the chef now. Don't think so. The house is registered to a non-existing environmental NGO. This feels more like identity theft. Like you, Reynard is known to use disguises. Keep looking, 47. Nothing we can do for these people now. The target is on a break near the barn. He's a chess player. See what you can spot. Be mindful of roaming security guards. Some of them may work out you don't quite belong. Use the crowds to hide in if needed. I see you've been keeping your skills honed to perfection, 47. Be advised, Initiate. ICA clients rely on our discretion and do not expect collateral damage. Lowering the flag seems to have triggered new activity in the facility. I'm picking up chatter on the intercom. They're about to start Cabco's release. I wonder what happened to him, 47. Salvatore Bravomo, a local attorney, has allegedly gotten his hands on evidence that could sink Abbiati's political career. Abbiati, a firm believer that all men can be bought, wants to meet this Bravomo face to face. The attorney, however, was not born yesterday and has wisely gone into hiding. One of the most densely populated cities in the world, home to more than 12 million people. Intel tells us that he's searching for the Cloud Serpent in the jungle just outside the village. Elimination confirmed. Good work. The Liberation Cult has installed itself in the southwest penthouse wing, and the exhibition is open to hotel guests. You should be able to acquire your targets there. Proceed at your discretion.
Are you enjoying yourself, Mr. Black?
That is Ludmila Vetrova, English-born former confidence artist of Russian descent and current client handler for Haven. Careful with this one, 47.
Perfect. Now be gentle. He's an actor.
We've lost the courier, 47. Pull out. 47? I think it would be beneficial to locate the unlawful surveillance mentioned in the lawsuit. Perhaps Nolan Cassidy's house would be a good place to start. Well done, 47. I will leave Strandberg in your capable hands. Nicely done, 47. Getting caught on tape is the last thing we need. 47, code red. Everyone is evacuating.
Quite understandable. But the terrorists are all dead now, and we need to look towards the future. Providence is changing, and you're an intrinsic part of that change, Miss Kensington.
The target will spot you if you get too close. To eavesdrop on his conversation, try and find a way to blend in.
I'm warning you, Yates. This will not go your way.
Back to the target, 47, near the shooting range. Your target has a police record, explosives and banks. Charming. Check the explosives range near the windmill. That's the first infected target eliminated, 47. Welcome to Paris, 47. The show is just about to start. This is the red carpet event of the season, and the guest list is a veritable who's who of the global fashion elite. You will find Viktor Novikov basking in the spotlight, while Dalia Margolis hosts the heavily guarded auction on the second floor for a group of Iago's top customers. Now, event security will keep a watchful eye on any suspicious activity, but I trust your timeless look shall fit right in. Good luck, 47. Hang on. That's Jason Portman, former CEO of Quantum Leap and current CEO of Much Talk, the disreputed social media network, currently involved in a user data scandal. Why is he here, 47? According to our intel, Helmut Kruger is friendly with Dalia Margolis. I suspect that Iago uses fashion models to infiltrate the lives of the rich and powerful, and Kruger is likely one of their spies. His face paint conveniently obscures his features, and the two of you already share a striking resemblance. The target is evacuating, 47. He will most likely be using an underground escape route to avoid the rioters. Good work, 47. We now know Janus is meeting with a constant at an event related to the Ark Society, and we have an approximate date as well. I think that's all we're going to get.
You really are the odd man out, aren't you?
According to the appointment schedule, Klaus Strandberg has booked a massage to relieve his back pains. No doubt all that time in prison has caused muscle stiffness. The masseur, who works at a local clinic, has apparently already checked into the building.
47. It looks like Dorian Lang is with the couple now. Is he? He's taking their wedding photos using his phone. Well, when in need.
You could also investigate the barber shop and see what is going on there. That is Zoe Washington, chairwoman of the Ark Society, professional treasure hunter, and Providence operative. Quite a mouthful. Nice one, 47. And now for Franco to sample his handiwork. I'll send a message to the target's phone, 47.
He was a loyal tool. But everything goes the way of the horse and cart eventually.
No way to get past them unnoticed. I suggest you cause a distraction, 47, and make it a loud one. Target is on the move. Follow him, 47.
Oh, it's simple, really. Edwards is proud. He considers himself the cleverest man alive, and yet we tricked him on Isle of Scale, and it's eating him up. He needs to win. Full, unequivocal victory. My recruitment was just the feather in his cap.
Target has been eliminated. Who would have thought that you would be one to preserve endangered life, 47? Well done. Wait. According to the floor plan, the room you're in should be a lot bigger. There might be a concealed space behind the wall. Check for hidden panels, 47. Target down. Next up, Silvio Caruso. Good work, 47. We're down to 5 remaining targets. There is a social event taking place in the VIP lounge in the center of the market. I'd suggest you investigate. A realtor with a taste for the sweet things in life is in Whittleton Creek to show a house to Nolan Cassidy. It looks like he's stuck at a local muffin stand at the moment. It would be a shame to keep Cassidy waiting, wouldn't it?
Well, we're all here, it seems. Except for our guide, the chief winemaker. Looks like we're stuck here until someone fetches him. Mr. Black, I'm looking in your direction.
No, that's not him. Hang on. There's a similar security hub on the 2nd floor. You might be able to acquire what you need there. Well done, 47. Viktor Novikov is next.
Ah, okay. Well, that was a target as well, I suppose.
Remember to hide your tracks. There should be a container nearby.
Ruby Red, famous muck-raking investigative journalist, is in the bank. Known for her fierce skills at digging up dirt and her excellent nose for scandal, she's definitely up to something. Might be worth following her around the bank, 47. They were infected, 47. It was necessary. 47, the Kashmirian is on the move again. He looks to be leaving his apartment, possibly the trawl itself. I suggest following him to see where this will end.
Well, that's going to leave a mark. Good thing we have insurance.
You're in. Good work, 47. Now to locate General Zaydan. That is Ajit A.J. Krish, current head of Atlantide. Be careful, 47. His charm and charisma has drained many people of their life savings, so all eyes will be on him. The happy couple just became very unhappy, 47. They've discovered the disaster with the wedding cake. You've likely not exhausted the room for clues, 47. Her father, Robert Knox, roams the nearby expo building where Kronstadt is showcasing its new prototype car. Now back to our explosives expert. The target just posted an update in the ground floor catering area. According to the pyrotechnician's schedule, Novikov plans a grand fireworks display at the end of the Sanguine show. Not a bad distraction. The fireworks are located on a barge in the Seine. However, first you need to find the detonation remote. I'm sure there's more to find in Zachary's room. Novikov is meeting Max Decker, a senior agent in the Russian FSB. Small world. The FSB has been mounting a criminal case against Novikov, but Decker's boss, FSB Section Chief Nikolai Kamarov, committed suicide only last night. Or perhaps not. Either way, this could be a chance to catch Novikov away from the spotlight.
That was a parallel universe.
All targets neutralized. This should paralyze the cartel. Excellent work, 47. Now head for an exit. It is not uncommon practice for a politician to have cameras installed to get the help of a so-called third eye, someone who can feed them names and information on important individuals in case they forget who they are. Maybe it's time to have a little fun with our charismatic charlatan and see where it could lead us. Confirmed kill on Vanya Shaw. Excellent work, 47.
47 will find you.
You will pay for this.
I think I'm going to be ill. All objectives complete. The money is being transferred now, 47. Now find an exit. Appears Reynard's cell is launching another strike. Those are sewer maps of a residential area in Wellington. Well, there's nothing we can do about it now. Our priority is the shadow client.
Nicely done, 47. Parvati won't know what hit her.
Good afternoon, 47. Your target is currently at Thornbridge Manor to steal a painting by Cecil Bardou. It turns out he's quite the master of disguise. He's pretending to be a wildlife inspector and is equipped with a fake court order to search the premises for a stolen ghost orchid. The client has informed me there will be a bonus if you manage to procure the painting too. Good luck. A fumigation unit and a powerful sedative. Sounds intriguing, 47. Good thinking, Initiate. This should keep Knight's attention for a while. You're entering the lion's den, 47. Tread carefully. Practically everyone here is dangerous, not least Rico Delgado himself. That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlyle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47. 47, they're about to raise the alarm. Clearly, Janus is a meticulous man. This microfilm contains a lot of heavily redacted minutes from what appears to be a yearly event of some sort. Plenty of initials and project code names that don't ring any bells. Janus is mentioned by name throughout, however. This is a very important find, 47. Perhaps I see possibility where others see limitation. Just 2 minutes left, 47. Let's wrap this one up. That was an A+, 47. The money is being transferred. Now to find an exit. The target has begun streaming from the ground floor catering area. Janus is apparently engaged in a civil lawsuit with another resident of Whittleton Creek. James Batty, the plaintiff, wants Janus to stop his annual landing of a helicopter near the local creek. The lawsuit also mentions Nolan Cassidy and his unlawful surveillance around town. So Janus takes a helicopter trip once per year. I think we're onto something here, 47. Too many eyes. Meet me at the Olive Grove at sunset. 47, I have new information. We've registered a rather large rise in the number of infected. You know what to do. The food's exquisite. Let me know if you're willing to take on some contract work. The officer in charge has ordered airfield security to get him a bottle of vodka. He will probably offer Knight a drink as well. That is, provided he is able to drag the Grand Master away from his chess game. The Washington twins are hosting their first annual gathering as chairwomen of the Ark Society, and the Constant is known to attend every year. Some say he does a perfect shave and has an insatiable fondness for hiding in cupboards. All we know is his name is 47. Gregory Arthur, a famous Broadway star, is apparently late for a photo shoot inside Rangan's unfinished tenement tower. Hang on, he uploaded a selfie on social media about half an hour ago. The Mumbai Food District. He's likely still there, 47. The Kashmirian is on the move again. It's paid off to follow him so far. Maybe he will lead us to the maelstrom. 47, be aware. Maison is onto you and is trying to leave the area.
That won't be necessary.
We'll go at our own pace. Good thinking, 47. DeSantis will arrive shortly. This is one time the dame won't fool the detective. Best of luck, 47. Target eliminated. Well done, 47. The client is transferring a very charitable donation as we speak. Now, time to make your exit. Robert Knox has a race car on display in the expo building. The show staff is under strict instructions to summon him at any sign of malfunction. Apparently, Knox trusts no one to fix his car but him. Perhaps it's time to poke around under the hood, 47. They do say one should never mess with another man's wheels. 47. That nose. Those eyes. That can only be Wazir Kale, the Maelstrom. Identification confirmed. Welcome to Miami, 47. Your target, Ajit Krish, is currently hosting an Atlantide event in the VIP area of the annual Global Innovation Race. Krish likes to portray himself as a man of the people, so he will most likely be by the company stand, trying to persuade the unfortunate guests of the opportunity to represent Atlantide. We know that he has brought 2 trucks filled with the product to sell instantly to whoever signs the dotted line.
In other words, it's going to be tricky to catch him alone. Good luck.
You have been compromised. Quickly, try and lose them and change your disguise. Took you long enough. Quick! Clear the floor and get yourself a guard outfit. Yates won't be long.
Excellent, 47. That's the notebook secured. The target did 3 tours as an IED expert for Cicada. He's likely to be near the explosives range, down by the windmill. Nice work, 47. Time to mix up a storm. We're looking for a chess enthusiast, 47. Look for a board. Careful, though. You need 2 for a game of chess. That's really something else, 47.
Smart work, 47. Shah will want to have privacy when measuring for the dress. I'll leave the final execution up to you.
That is General Reza Zaidan, keeper of the peace. 47. Olivia is trying to locate Mr. Sinclair's cell number. See if we can't contact him directly. Stand by.
Do you have visual? Good. Let's pay him a visit, shall we?
We're looking for someone eating. Not a huge help, I know. Well, well. It appears we have a rival assassin in Mumbai, and he's training his sights on Dawood Rangan. By the looks of it, I'd say we're dealing with a local operator, known as the Kashmirian.
I suppose sometimes accidents really do happen.
Wait, 47. One of the infected is trying to escape. Take him down now. We can't let any of them get away. I'm picking up some radio chatter, 47. Robert Knox appears to be heading for his helicopter at the top of the expo building. I think he's planning on leaving. That's Cody Haynes taken care of. If you want to find the painting, this is the time. Then find an exit. I'll transfer the money to your account. Vanya Shah is eager to meet the new foreman of the Mumbai laundry business. However, the foreman has taken refuge in his office, unwilling to meet with her at this time. You might be able to use this to your advantage, 47. Good evening, 47. Our on-site intelligence has confirmed that the target has arrived at the restaurant and that his security team has already swept the area. Good hunting. It seems waiters are needed just about everywhere these days. Didn't you know? I have tango fever.
Really, Initiate? That was not your target.
47. Vanya Shah's meeting with someone. It's the Maelstrom. Now's your chance.
I see. In order to make adjustments to the jet and perform the role of safety inspector, you're going to need a mechanic's disguise.
All right, 47. I'm counting 7 remaining targets.
Advanced mission training complete. And may I say, elegantly done, Initiate. I guess my hunch was right about you. I look forward to the final test.
The riots are spreading. The guards will be busy controlling the prisoners for quite a while. Strange. This target seems to be really tired. Perhaps a symptom of the infection. Look for someone having a nap. A place to start could be the slums, where his former gang, the Crows, has recently risen from the ashes. Good aim. Now, according to the local home security provider, the house is equipped with multiple cameras, placed around the perimeter. I suggest you get rid of them, 47. Both targets down. Now head towards an exit. Good afternoon, 47. Welcome to Paris. The target arrived by limousine an hour ago and is somewhere on the palace grounds. Good hunting. You're in. Good work, 47. Now, look for intel. Documents, electronic devices. You know the drill. Tell me, what did it feel like? Taking lives. 47. The street gang known as the Crows are on high alert. They seem to be on the lookout for potential assassins and will be suspicious of anyone they don't recognize. I suggest you are mindful around them in the slums. Making a bit of a mess there, 47. 2 targets down. Now destroy the virus. The innovation race is on its last day, and it is down to the wire. So far, so good, 47. Now, let's see where this meeting is headed. Good show, 47. Now do put the poor soul out of his misery. Well done, 47. This should be good. No rest for the wicked, however. On to the next one. Mission completed. Time to find an exit. 47, you need to stop Lang. He's trying to reach an exit. Good plan. Zaidan won't expect resistance from a tied-up prisoner. I'll have intel on the final infected target shortly. Targets down. 1 objective remaining. And that is Nolan Cassidy taken care of. Both targets are confirmed killed. A keychain pendant for the greenhouse. What's that doing in Emma and Gregory's room, I wonder? And why is the key missing? According to the schedule, the exterminator plans to inspect the Emperor's suite. On his request, the hotel manager will clear out the recording studio and bring everyone into the atrium for the duration of the inspection.
I suggest you locate the exterminator, 47. He appears to be fumigating on the ground floor. It isn't. Every one of those missions were branded as unsolved or accidents. He must have been looking for a pattern, a certain MO, which would mean... Didn't see that one coming, 47. Well done, Initiate. I dare say this is an accident waiting to happen. A notice from the bank's head of security mentions that the building suffers from unstable Wi-Fi. If the connection fails, IT have full access to the director's office and computer. Sounds useful, 47. Sinister-looking basement. What could she be doing down here? Welcome to Sapienza, 47. Silvio Caruso's family home is right across the square. The bioengineer suffers from acute travel phobia, so the Ether Corporation has installed a state-of-the-art field laboratory somewhere below ground. Expect security levels to rise as you get closer to the virus. Good luck, 47. Apparently, there is a fumigator in town. He's working on a house belonging to a James Batty, and has previously been working on Cassidy's house. The fumigator has stored some of his chemicals, a strong sedative, in a container in a vacant lot near the creek. Sounds like this could be useful, 47. Hang on, 47. Robert Knox's calendar shows a meeting with a Ted Mendez, a defense funding consultant with the US military. He must be related to that robot. Maybe you can find Mendez somewhere. Maison is in the kitchen, 47. He's yelling at the chef. This might be an opportunity. Good thinking. Zaydan is on the move, and we know exactly where he's going. You should keep an eye on this one, 47.
Right, now to set the trap. The ejector seat mechanism has been disabled. You may need a tool to re-enable it.
Well done, 47. With any luck, the perfectionist Ezra Berg will want to examine his notes closely to figure out what happened. 47, the warden is on the move. He's heading for an exit.
Good thinking. However, you have now entered a trespassing zone, so proceed with caution.
That must be Janus's casket. But still, no body. Well done, 47. When Rose comes back, he's in for an explosive surprise. That is Vincente Murillo, fascist militia leader and self-proclaimed dictator of the New World Order. You need to identify where these broadcasts are being sent from and eliminate him. Both of your primary targets are eliminated, 47. The virus is still active, however. Eliminate anyone else who is infected. We have to stop it here. Good thinking, 47. Now, if we could only make Rangan appear in that window somehow.
And they say cash is obsolete. So, this uniform should provide access to the hangar. Good job, Initiate.
Armed Sicarios patrol the streets of the village, ready to enforce harsh punishments to those who do not comply. It looks like something violent took place here. The previous owner seems to have been connected with Janus somehow. The police report mentions they found him here in a pool of blood. The house has been sealed off until a few weeks ago. Death was ruled as a severe allergic reaction. If it's any consolation, Don, your instincts were dead on. I will be constant now, and I will make it my mission to tear down Providence brick by brick. I know you never miss a shot, 47, so what are you up to? Something is circled, 47. Female, age 65 to 79, 60 to 64 kilograms. I'd say Madame Carlyle is next in line for a poisoning. Well done, 47. Novikov is about to meet with Decker, and you have a front row seat. Expect that all targets are protected by scrupulous killers, armed with automatic weapons. Now, we strike at the heart. 47, Robert Knox is on the move. If I'm not mistaken, he's heading down to the Bayside food stand selling coconut balls. We're halfway through the final minute. Get ready for extraction, 47. Target down. Now head towards an exit. Target down. Next up, Ken Morgan.
Took you long enough. Quick, clear the floor before Yates's goons turn impatient.
A lawsuit between Janus and another resident. Might be a good place to start your investigation into Janus's life, 47. I suggest you look closer at this James Batty fellow. So, Sophia Washington has called a council meeting between the original 5 members of the Ark Society. Sophia hopes to pass some sort of motion,
But she faces stark opposition from ultra-conservative coal baron Jebediah Block. I suggest you find Mr. Block while the council is still in recess, 47. I suspect the headstrong Sophia will not take kindly to dissidents and troublemakers. Time is almost up, 47. 30 seconds. Finish this.
No. Listen up, 47. Yates will be here shortly. He'll have his thug Cortazar do his dirty work, but he won't pass up on the chance for a good gloat and a monologue.
Interesting choice, 47.
What are you up to? I might just do that. She could use a bit of downtime. If only it weren't for the muscle. They follow us everywhere, I'm afraid. We are heralds. We took an oath to protect Providence against all threats. That includes his bad decisions.
Interesting. The poison chip in the Constant's neck was designed by a Kronstadt engineer, a Mr. Marek Sinclair, who also works for the Ark Society. Apparently, Sophia wants Sinclair to approach the Constant and offer to remove the chip. If the Constant takes the bait, Sophia can prove to the Providence partners that their top controller is not to be trusted. Sounds promising. I suggest you head over to the conference space, see if you can't locate Mr. Sinclair. Well, at least the damage is contained. For now.
Good, you got the painting. Now take care of the target.
It looks like those water tanks are hooked up to Vanya Shaw's steam-heated meditation pond. Captain Thack, Spider Lily, eliminated. Outstanding shooting. Just one more target to go.
According to the hotel gardener, Ken Morgan wants to purchase his aging tuk-tuk as a souvenir. Unfortunately for him, he can't get the engine working. Well, you're good at fixing things, 47. I suggest you give the gardener a helping hand. This could be excellent bait.
47, the targets are leaving the area. You must act now. It seems you're not the only one hunting the sensor, 47. The agent's hands are tied for now. Luckily, yours are not. If you can gain access to their computer, you should find some information on their prime suspect.
Such a waste. Wouldn't you say, Mr. Reaper?
I'll get to work on identifying the next one. Good work, 47. That will give us something to look for. Let me see what I can pull out of the data. Excellent, 47. Now locate and eliminate the target.
First things first. Head towards the gangway. I have little hope they'll let us in, but you never know. Oh, and don't worry about the training operatives. All weapons are simulated. Just don't get caught.
A famous private investigator summoned by Alexa Carlyle has arrived at Thornbridge Manor. If you take his place, it may be an opportunity to get close to Madame Carlyle. You do know your poisons, 47. Does it bother you, being the odd one out?
That is Dahlia Margolis, supermodel turned spy master. Good show, 47. Strandberg is on the move, and we know exactly where he is heading. Vitaly Reznikov has managed to get away. The mission is over, 47. Security around Santa Fortuna and the closed-off cartel compound is extremely tight. 47, the situation is about to get out of hand. The target is training for some sort of high-intensity operation. Look for assault weapons and body armor. He may be at or near the shooting range. Well, that caused a pillar of purple smoke to rise above the slums. Let's see what happens next, 47.
As suspected, security won't allow you on board in your current outfit. We should avoid confrontation and look for another way in.
My word, 47. That was an impressive display. Vanya Shaw and Wazir Kale, a.k.a. the Maelstrom, confirmed killed. He did manage to kill everybody except for the target.
Your 3 targets call this labyrinthine part of the city home, so choose your approach carefully. Medical records indicate alcoholism. Look for someone drinking.
Tamara, I think you have the wrong idea.
The target is close to his vehicle. You must engage now. That's the head of security here, Mateo Perez. He'll be holding one of the 3 backup data disks. The target has a gardening blog. I see pictures that match the orchard. Check for someone taking care of the plants. Welcome to Whittleton Creek, 47. Your target is Galen Voles, who's just moved into the neighborhood in hopes of establishing an inconspicuous home clinic to peddle Atlantide. Unfortunately for him, not to mention you, he's already received some threatening mail to this new address. The man's on edge, and he's reached out to the local authorities to help him secure his property. You'll need to get past them if you want to take care of Voles. Good luck.
All right, 47. Let's see if the aim of our Kashmirian friend is true.
47. Guillaume Maison is attempting an evacuation. Stop him.
Excellent work, 47. And now, the moment of truth.
Spider Lily's on the move, 47. She's heading for an exit. Stop her. Rumors persist of hidden transportation cave systems connecting the village, the cartel compound, and the hidden coca fields beyond. An iron-fisted Delgado cartel rules over the village and its surroundings. That door leads to Emma and Gregory's room. Apparently, Mendola is looking for a fortune teller. Sounds promising. A man of superstition surrenders himself to fate. Well, you don't have to be clairvoyant to see his future. You should investigate your station, 47. All objectives complete. Now head towards an exit. Back to our target in the garage area, near the Red Barn.
She never leaves my sight for long. Whatever your plan is, I'll help you if I can.
Good. He's distracted. Now's your chance.
You might say we run in the same circles. I'm looking at the data now. I'll have some intel for you shortly. Come find me when it's done. Good luck, 47.
That is Yuki Yamazaki, former lawyer to the Yakuza and current operative for Providence.
They're meeting up near Rangan's tower. There's a barge near a big crane.
This is your chance, 47. 47, we can't let any of the infected get away. Take him out now before he escapes. Target down. That's the end of Owen Cage and hopefully the end of this threat. Now for Klaus Liebleed.
Interesting. The class's regular drummer unexpectedly quit the band and the record label has flown in a replacement. Upcoming indie drummer Abel De Silva, who is currently waiting in the restaurant lounge. Better yet, Jordan Cross has not previously met Mr. De Silva, and the two of you do share a resemblance, 47.
Abbiati, eager to play man of the people, is throwing a political rally for Sapienza's young, panem et circenses. Though it might seem lavish, Abbiati knows where to cut costs, so no one will notice and has therefore hired his nephew's company to set up the stage. It's a company with a checkered past, so I'm sure safety is not the top of their list. The suit will prevent the virus from infecting anyone around you. Mindful of collateral as always, 47.
Well done. Finish what you need to do, and then meet me on the dance floor. Oh, and make sure to suit up.
Welcome to Sapienza, 47. Today's shoot is already in progress. For the sake of authenticity, Dino Bosco's icon costume is genuinely bulletproof. He does, however, insist on doing his own stunts. So, I suggest you take advantage of Murphy's Law. Good luck, 47. The Warden has authorized the use of lethal force against the rioting prisoners. Remember, we need to secure the data from the bank's reinforced vault, or, alternatively, acquire 3 hard drives carried by the director and her 2 lieutenants, Mann and Perez. Reznikov is searching for Cabco. If the Warden can't find him, he might leave ahead of schedule. Alarms have gone off all over the mansion. Targets are evacuating. The first annual gathering of the Ark Society. That rings a bell. If Janus was its founder, perhaps he's still attending these gatherings, 47. This could be valuable information indeed. That appears to be a half-burned diary belonging to Zachary Carlyle. It says he and Madame Carlyle murdered their older brother 46 years ago, and that Mr. Fernsby helped them cover it up. He was planning to confess it all. Interesting. According to staff, Caruso has a nostalgic streak and keeps a crate of VHS tapes from his childhood somewhere in the observatory. Apparently, he used to watch them on the projector, but stopped after his mental breakdown. I suggest you locate those tapes. Could be just what we need. The stakes are as high as they can get. Well, it looks like there's a power struggle underway in Mumbai. Vanya Shah has contracted a hired killer, the Kashmirian, to eliminate Dawood Rangan. With Rangan now out of the picture, you should be able to pick up that contract and get in touch with Shah through one of the city's payphones. Perhaps it will set off a beneficial chain of events. All right, 47, you're in. Make the most of it.
Anyway, you did it. Excellent work, Initiate. I bet Sodas didn't see this coming. Now stay calm and head towards an exit.
Maya Parvati is down. Good work. And 47, the handwriting doesn't match the suicide letter in his room, proving he didn't write it himself. I've got Dorian Lang trying to head for an exit, 47. We're looking for a fitness fanatic.
Jogging or running almost constantly according to this information. The first rule, I suppose. I can't find anything else, 47. Check your intel. You should have all the info you need to ID the target now. Both targets are down. Great work. Now head towards an exit. 5 minutes left, 47. Make them count. My compliments to the chef. Good afternoon, 47. The situation in Marrakesh is unstable, and we believe a coup is imminent. This will provide cover for your operation. Our intelligence indicates the target entered the Swedish consulate, but has not been spotted since. The courier is already at the cafe in the city centre. Good hunting.
Ah, yes. Here it comes.
47. Roman Cabco is changing out of his prison clothes. He's getting ready to leave the prison. Excellent, 47. This recording confirms that Janus is planning to meet with the Constant. This is just the sort of thing we're looking for. Caruso will be coming to lunch shortly. His last meal, I presume. Nice shot. I'm guessing there's a plan in motion here? The target has left the building, 47. Get him, or he'll get away.
You're not the only one who's been busy, 47. I'm this close to becoming the next Constant. I'll be able to dismantle Providence from the inside. Only one man stands in my way. Don Yates. That weasel was the partner's legal counsel for years. He's the top candidate. But remove him from the playing field. You're an outlier too, Tamara. You don't mingle with the other heralds. They're so impressed with themselves, aren't they? Ordering all those big-shot CEOs around, but not you. Where they see power and prestige, you see duty. That's why you're Edward's most trusted aide.
Richard Acquenzi is dead, 47. Inez Acquenzi is your next target.
Well, we really should be getting on.
Broken lab equipment. It looks like it was recently used, though. 47, I think the Maelstrom has arrived by the train yard. Wait 1 second, 47, I have an update. Looks like there are quite a few editing notes in this document, 47. And rather granular ones at that. I think you found your target. Good thinking, 47. I dare say the possibilities are endless. I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47. Maybe it's time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you. I'm seeing flames erupt in the West Building, 47. Anyone caught in the flames will not survive. Well done, 47. You've managed to lure Vanya Shaw out into the open. Anything could happen here. That is... Carlton Smith? What on earth? Good evening, 47. The target arrived several hours ago for a meeting with a local French Marrakeshi businessman somewhere in the city centre. We've been unable to discover the specific location, so I advise you to look for a higher-than-usual security presence. Good hunting. 47. Dorian Lang has escaped the premises. Mission is aborted. Well done, 47. Better get rid of the body. Won't be long before they come looking. The target's private deck. Now we're getting somewhere. But according to intel, Ritter is another enforcer who picks his own cabin crew. So tread carefully. Exactly. We won't get another shot at this. Now sit down and blend in. When I provide a distraction, you just be ready to move. Good work, 47. That's the evidence secured for now. Careful not to lose it. If anyone sees you with that rack, my guess is you'll draw a lot of unwanted attention to yourself. Dawood Rangan will be easy to find in his half-finished tower, wrapping up his new film called Mumbai Hero. 47, Lang is on the move. You have to stop him. Readings look good. You seem to be in the clear. You're a real expert in your field, Chef. Good. I dare say this should get Knox's undivided attention. 47. Entering the isolation ward without a hazmat suit is extremely dangerous. You'll risk exposing yourself to the virus. That cannot happen, 47.
I will convince him you acted alone. Retaliation for Grey. Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
Nice work, 47. Let's hope he doesn't set off the alarm somehow. Peculiar icons above the safe. I wonder if they might be some sort of a code. Maybe have a look around the office, 47. A robe for Janus. What could he need that for? That's Vitaly Reznikov taken care of. Well done, 47. This is Mr. Fernsby's office. Thought so. This should be interesting. Excellent. This confirms that Janus and the Constant will meet up soon. I don't think we'll be able to identify the partners today, but this is very useful. The tape doesn't specify where that meeting will take place, however. We need that final bit, 47. He's trying to fix up an old tractor, 47. Repairing it, it seems. Working with someone else on the job, though. Careful. Once you dispose of Edwards, I will dismantle Providence from the top down. It will finally be over. There's no more information, 47. Review the intel I found for you so far. You should have enough to ID him. According to rumors, Bosco is the sole owner of a highly valuable figurine, a prototype from his cult film Il Brute, the last in the otherwise highly successful Tony Dane franchise. After the film's disastrous opening, the planned production of the figurine was aborted and has become quite a mythical object for the more fanatical film collectors, a cult film's holy grail, if you will. My guess is Bosco knows the value of it and keeps it closely guarded. Confirmed kill on Maison, 47. 47, the doctor is making a run for it. Take him down, now!
The dead body of Zachary Carlyle, Alexa's little brother.
The light rig could potentially crush anyone on stage below. I suggest you locate the stage schedule. If Novikov is head designer Sebastian Seder's replacement, we can probably tweak the odds in our favor. A fragile genius known to suffer from wild mood swings, Sato shouldn't be hard to get rid of. Be gentle, though. He is an artist, after all. That's a token for a vault in the Milton Fitzpatrick London Bank. You need a pair, and you gain access no questions asked. I bet that's where Madame Carlyle keeps a copy of the Edwards file. The target is on punishment detail, 47. Raking the yard. Should be easy to spot. 47, that's the Maelstrom with Vanya Shah. We have him. Good work, 47. Ludmila Vetrova has been permanently retired. Target kill confirmed. Well done, 47. Time to wrap this up. Your target, Director Athena Savalas, can be found in her top-floor office, overlooking the iconic Teller Hall. The target is on the first floor, 47. So, that's Stephen Bradley taken care of. Well done. One of Janus's old microfilms. It might contain important information. All you need now is to find a device to read it on. The courier seems nervous, 47. He's unlikely to make the pickup if he's suspicious. I suggest you drop back. Nothing? I'll keep on calling Sinclair until you have a visual. This should be easy to spot. He likes to play the guitar. You made it. Most impressive, 47. Now to locate Klaus Strandberg.
A guard uniform should do nicely, but you'll need to draw him out and isolate him.
You do realize that's only a painting, right, 47?
The red car marks your exfiltration point. Simply push the button and you're in the clear.
That shot came from the Chauls. It looks like the Kashmirian finally got a clear line of fire. Dawood Rangan is dead, and not even by your hand, 47. What will you think of next? 47, the race is over. Sierra will be coming off the track any time now. Well, at least this shortens the list. Good afternoon, 47. Your target is not on the guest list, so he will most likely be attempting to slip past security in some way. If he is located within a secure area, guards will escort him out. Good hunting.
I can see you have this under control.
You're looking for someone raking up leaves, 47. Thankless task. The Blade is escorting the hostages. If they reach the ship, the mission will be a failure, and Jorge Franco is engaged in development of a new drug in his field laboratory. Good work, 47. Mendola is right where we want him. Now all that's missing is the host.
Right. Target down. Well done, 47.
That wasn't one of your targets, 47. Caruso has escaped, 47. Mission failed.
Right. Now for the tricky part. Start by locating your target. Intel suggests he's around the bar area.
Here, I got you an invitation, just like old times. 47. I've located the antidote for the Nabazov virus in the stem cell storage facility. Mind you, there is only that one sample. Get to it, quickly.
This is very useful information, 47. A quick glance, and I can see that you've already uncovered some relevant facts.
Both targets down. Threat neutralized. Ah, bloody hell. That was a close call, 47. Now head towards an exit. We're done here.
He wouldn't. 47 is a weapon, and weapons don't judge. They go where they're pointed.
You're exactly the tool they bred you to be. I should leave you to prepare. More doctor's notes. Subject presenting paranoid or psychotic behavior, mid-stage delusion. Promising. I don't like this, Dr. 47. Regardless, look for someone nervous or scared. Unusually noisy, 47. Heads up, 47. The butler has discovered the ruined painting. He looks upset. Excellent work, 47. Enjoy the spotlight. Zachary's diary. This is big. He was about to confess to the world that he and Alexa murdered their older brother Montgomery 46 years ago. And apparently, Mr. Fernsby helped make the murder look like an accident.
47. That computer. See if you can't access it.
So, producer Wes Liston has ordered a vintage Branson MD2 vocal mic. This rare model was removed from the market in the 1960s after causing a number of electric shock fatalities. Apparently, a production defect makes the MD2 short-circuit at high voltages. Sounds promising. I suggest you track down the crewman who picked up the microphone. According to his colleagues, this Julian is romantically involved with Jackie Carrington, a former sitcom star who stays in room 207. Access to the consulate and first-row seats for the interview. Nicely done, 47. He is no longer our primary concern. ICA has been compromised. I always wondered if Providence was real, but I never actually... I will need to confer with the board, but mark my words, 47. This will have consequences. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Interesting. Zoe Washington is going to partake in a ceremony, symbolizing the downfall of civilization from which the Ark Society will emerge unscathed. Apparently, a giant phoenix-shaped effigy is set on fire, with Zoe inside it. Well, I suggest you locate this master of ceremonies who lights the fire, 47. If this doesn't sound like an accident waiting to happen, I don't know what does. That is Dr. Klaus Liebleed, 47. He cannot be allowed to leave the facility. The photographer will have a hard time taking his pictures now, 47. Aha. According to the hotel manager's memo, drunken members of Jordan Cross's sound crew broke into the Queen Suite last night and trashed the place. Housekeeping is fast at work, which is why Ken Morgan and his bodyguard are not yet settled in. Sounds promising. According to the manager, a member of staff is supposed to escort Morgan to his suite once the cleaning staff is done. That someone could be you, 47. I know how you love to grovel. Good work, 47. Abbiati will be with you shortly. I dare say this is one negotiation he is going to regret.
Skipping ahead, are we?
Target killed. That is Dmitry Fedorov, responsible for the deaths of 26 employees at his faulty fireworks factory. Good. I was beginning to worry. Here's something, 47. According to this email thread, Sophia Washington has recruited one of the architects in a plan to discredit the Constant. Sounds promising. Really, 47. I thought I taught you better than this. Brother Akram eliminated. That's confirmed. Colonel Jinnu, the Blade, eliminated. Good job, 47. This is it, 47. Time to end this. 30 seconds to extraction. Milton Fitzpatrick is holding a round of job interviews. The final applicant was last seen going into the bathrooms where he's been for some time. Nerves, maybe? Nicely done, 47. DeSantis will be here shortly. I suggest you get in the mood. I'm tracking Maison. He's heading for an exit, 47. The Ark Society annual gathering. 47, that's it. That has to be the event where Janus and the Constant are meeting. The plot thickens. Apparently, Jordan Cross has been obsessing over a mysterious audio recording featuring the voice of Hannah Highmore. However, his manager Dexy Barrett has confiscated the recording for her client's own good. Well, I suggest you get a hold of that recording, 47. Sounds like the perfect bait, and if my hunch is right, a chance to confront Cross with his crimes. You could start by searching Miss Barrett's private quarters, room 404, inside the Emperor's suite. Penelope Graves is still new to this outfit, and it looks like Rose is going to test her dedication to the cause. He's arranged for one of the communications technicians to act as an outside agent. The tech is supposed to show her an Interpol badge and escort her to the slurry pit, asking her to betray the militia. Might I suggest a last-minute recasting, 47? A photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor. Target down. Now head towards an exit. Janus is apparently engaged in a civil lawsuit with another resident of Whittleton Creek.
James Batty, the plaintiff, wants Janus to stop his annual landing of a helicopter near the local creek. Batty claims it interrupts the nesting birds and a species of frog that has been declared endangered. Must be a very important trip given his poor health. I thought resisting power was noble, but revolution is a young person's game. It's easy to tear down, much harder to build. I figure I can be Edward's conscience. God knows I have the practice. Dragon Eye is heading for an exit. Don't let him escape, 47.
This is Corvo Black, Tamara. He's a ICA regular.
Tyson Williams eliminated. Excellent work, 47.
Hold up, 47. The Kashmirian is on the move. He's heading for another flat inside the Chawls. This might be worth investigating. If nothing else, we may get a lead on who his client is.
Klaus Strandberg has agreed to an exclusive interview with celebrity GNN reporter Pam Kingsley, no doubt to enrage the public even further. This could be a way inside the lockdown consulate, and the replacement cameraman, a local freelancer, is yet to arrive.
Today is the inauguration of the Scepter, and the ceremony is well underway. A locked room murder mystery, 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this. I'm getting an unpleasant case of déjà vu, 47.
47, the Blade is on the move. I think he's running for the hostages. Don't let him get to Ladong. Sodas? But that would mean Providence has infiltrated ICA, and Eric Sodas is their operative. Bastard! It all fits. He was the one who persuaded the rest of the ICA board to greenlight this operation.
Excellent, 47. I'll have a team ready to take possession of the weaponized virus as soon as you extract. Do be careful with it. 47, I have intel regarding the pilot.
The Heavenly Guard has been taken care of. I'll get an extraction team to secure the hostages. Excellent work, 47.
Oh, Mr. Reaper is in many ways a man out of time.
You, playing dead? This takes me back. Good thinking, 47. The target is on a laptop, 47. Not sure why. Let me check his squid logs.
Oh. I do hope he has someone to clear his browser history.
Now, you didn't hear this from me, but I would eavesdrop on the two mechanics just beyond the fence.
Excellent, 47. This should be a termination Director Savalis won't forget. Cassidy looks to be a gun enthusiast. The room looks like it's outfitted with a lot of security and alarms.
You heard the lady. I'm sure you have a Pinot in stock somewhere.
Target down. 2 objectives remaining. Well done, 47. The money has been wired to your account.
Your target is down. Now head calmly towards an exit.
As sure as I'll ever be.
That is Miranda Jameson. Art price fixer, thief, and responsible for at least 3 artist suicides. Access to William's secret office. Good place for a one-on-one, 47. I'll call the target's cell phone, 47. Keep your eyes open. That's Sinclair, all right. And those are the blueprints for the poison chip. Should come in handy.
Make sure to get rid of the body. And come find me when it's done. It wasn't... Well, it's complicated.
Well, that was rather impressive. You've managed to eliminate all 3 targets in one fell swoop. Excellent work.
Forgive me, I can't quite place you, Mr...
47, was that you?
While a paranoid Carl Ingram has ensconced himself in his penthouse suite, security on highest alert. Maybe you should tell him you are ready to present your findings. Here, I got you an invitation, just like old times. I was wasting my potential. I did garbage duty for 30 years, and where did it get me?
Another infection eliminated, 47. This was a mercy. So, P-Power, celebrity tattooist of Tattoo Torment fame, has come to Santa Fortuna, presumably to work his magic on Rico Delgado, a known ink enthusiast. Sounds like an invitation to the mansion, 47. Are you feeling expressive?
The infamous Maelstrom is dead. Very well done, 47.
Perfect, 47. That seems to have started the riot. It should help cover our tracks and hide any bodies in the rioting crowd. It seems Ether Management is concerned about Silvio Caruso's mental health, no doubt due to his mental breakdown last year. They have hired world-renowned psychologist Dr. Oscar Lafayette to treat the neurotic bioengineer. The session will no doubt take place in private, and furthermore, our records show that Caruso and Lafayette have not previously met. The money has been wired to your account. That is Andrea Martinez, the Delgado Cartel PR officer and public face. I'm not sure I understand what you're thinking here, 47. I'm sure there's a plan to this, though. That is Mathieu Mendola. Roman Cadco has fled the prison, 47. The mission is over. Both targets eliminated, 47. The money has been wired to your account. 47. It appears the Kashmirian is using this room as a base of operations. Let's see what he's up to in here. That is Eric Soders, former training director at the ICA. Regrettable. Director Savalas eliminated. Good work, 47. All mission objectives are completed. 47. Once you've left Whittleton Creek, I will notify Providence of our discovery. 47. What on earth are you up to? This indicates the target is engaged in record keeping, but nothing online. Look for someone with a clipboard. That is Bradley Payne, CDC virologist and cult operative. Time to eliminate him. And if I may offer a comment, good riddance. Access to the auction and a private audience with Dahlia Margolis. Nicely done, 47. The race is entering its final lap, 47. Confirmed, 47. They were infected. We have to keep it from spreading. The maze-like sprawling slums offer secret paths and surprises around every corner. An old letter, 47. Never opened. Must have slid under the secret door nearly 46 years ago. It states that Alexa Carlyle's older brother, Montgomery, wanted Alexa to become the heir to the Carlyle empire instead of himself. Interesting. Welcome to Mumbai, 47. Your target, along with a conspicuous coterie of paid guards, has taken up residence in a nearby apartment complex. It won't be easy to get close, but then again, a natural showman like Carnaby is unlikely to stay cooped up forever.
I see. I shouldn't really be surprised, should I?
Solid work, 47. Let's see if you can't turn this interrogation to your advantage. You're looking for a target in the central greenhouse area, possibly in the nearby orchard or field canteen. That's Madame Carlyle taken care of. Time to get the file on Arthur Edwards. 47, I'm still registering infected in the hospital. Be sure to take care of it before leaving. We cannot allow this virus to spread. When the security alarm sounds, Strandberg has been instructed to rendezvous with a team of Zaydan's soldiers at the underground garage. Apparently, a secret tunnel runs between the consulate and a shoe shop downtown. This is how the banker plans to escape the building unnoticed. I suggest you locate that shop, 47. This could be a way inside the consulate, not to mention a chance to lure Strandberg into the open. Good show, 47. It's time to close the deal. 47, Lee is running for an exit. You have to stop her. Virus destroyed. One target remaining. That is Penelope Graves, acclaimed anti-terror analyst. Strange to see her as part of this crowd. 47, I think that's Maelstrom on the barge now. I can't quite confirm, though. If you wanted to disappear and hide from the world, this vast city is perfect. That is the right-sided donor heart destined for Soders. This is what he sold out the ICA for. Intonation, emphasis, posture. These look like performance notes. They must belong to the double. In my bed, many years from now, surrounded by loved ones. But I must admit yours is more exciting. Should we head back? All objectives complete. Now head towards an exit. Hopefully, this will be the last time we have to deal with Mr. Faber. Target down. I'm sure he would have preferred a larger audience. Today is Jordan Cross's birthday, and manager Dexy Barrett has prepared a small surprise party for him. The kitchen has baked a special vegan cake to suit his rock star tastes, and the only thing missing is a cake topper with the number 27. I suggest you speed things along, 47. Could be the break we need. Margolis should be here shortly to fix the problem. Good thinking, 47. Now this is interesting, 47. A letter from Emma's mother stating that Emma is the illegitimate child of Alexa's late older brother, Montgomery. And listen to this. She claims to have witnessed Alexa and Zachary murder him. The plot thickens. There, in the sealed container. The virus prototype. Target down. I see you're outsourcing, 47. So, in case of an emergency, Strandberg and Zaydan will meet face-to-face at the center of the underground tunnel. The conspirators can summon each other over the phone using a set of keywords,
one of which is locked away in Consul Olander's safe. What if... Good show, 47. Now stick around. Once the word spreads, Knox won't be long. A fire has broken out in the East Building. The riot is spreading. Anyone caught in there will not survive. As we know, Zoe Washington will host Janus's wake. But now it seems an antique ceremonial dagger, which Janus is supposed to wear during the service, has gone missing from storage. I suggest you locate the disputed dagger, 47. This wake could be a chance to catch the target unaware.
Welcome to the Agent Program, Initiate. I'll be waiting for you inside. Follow the lights, please.
Look for the target in the overgrown junkyard toward the main gate, by the water tower. Most likely one of the soldiers. It appears that the happy couple is missing someone. All business, even at a party. You must be a professional. 47. I have intel about that bandaged patient. You're looking for a musician, 47. He plays acoustic guitar. Good shot, 47. No more wine for the vicar, I guess. Nicely done, 47. 2 flies with 1 swat. That is Dino Bosco. One of the Kronstadt pit crew has quit the team in protest, and Grace Miller, the ballbuster chief mechanic, is in critical need of a replacement. Why don't you step in and offer your services, 47? You're good with a wrench. Target down. Next up, Francesca DeSantis. Hold up. Maison's discovered the ruined wedding cake. He doesn't seem happy. Well done, 47. Now the pressure is on Bosco to give himself a proper farewell performance. 47, I'm seeing movement. Spider Lily is escorting the hostages towards the ship. So, this must be the rooftop where Kong and Mendola plan to meet. But not the poison used to kill Zachary. Of course, Madame Carlyle doesn't know that. Are you considering to frame the butler, 47? We're good. Lead the way, Senor Vargas. A letter from Janus to someone called Zoe. It looks like a draft and is full of explicit descriptions of how unhappy Janus is with Zoe and his sister having been appointed chairwomen of the Ark Society. I've heard that name before. This is a good find, 47. Good evening, 47. Your primary target is at the book reading in the Sapienza Church across the Marina Square. It is invitation only, so you will need to acquire one or find another way to infiltrate. Intercepts indicate that the cult operative has already arrived. Furthermore, I expect them to meet at midnight. Listen for the church bells. Once the meeting is done, your primary target will attempt to depart. Eliminate him before he can do so. You must also locate and retrieve the viral weapon. One of your 2 targets will have it in their possession. It will be something small and easily moved. Do be careful with it, though. Good hunting. Nicely done, 47. Poetic justice coming up. Welcome to Hokkaido, 47. Owen Cage is currently held in isolation in a heavily quarantined area of the hospital. He seems to be in the late stages of the infection, delirious and confused. He is also extremely contagious. Do not approach him without taking precautions. Klaus Liebleed is examining Cage in his makeshift lab. I need to stress this again, 47. The virus is absolutely lethal. It cannot be allowed to escape the facility, no matter the cost. Proceed with caution. That is Colonel Jin Nu, a.k.a. The Blade. Vicious and fanatical, Colonel Nu has orders to eliminate Ledong in case of an emergency. 47, Spider Lily has managed to escape. The mission is over. Well. Client won't like this one bit. So, Andrea Martinez wants the local shaman to do a spirit cleanse at the construction site. She's ordered her sicarios to summon him, against his will if necessary. I suggest you get involved, 47. After all, getting rid of bad influences is what you do best. You're an excellent detective, 47. Uncovering truths half a century old. If you frame it correctly, I believe you could use the information to convince Madame Carlyle that Zachary committed suicide. Good job, Initiate. This should keep Knight occupied for a while. 47. Shaw and Rangan are both on the move. I think they're heading for the beach area near the slums. Good thinking, 47. Delgado will want to see this beast in action. Up close and personal. Caruso has reached his plane, 47. Whatever you plan to do it now. Ah, yes. A shame what happened, but nothing lasts forever, I suppose. Oh, but where are my manners? This is my colleague, Tamara Vidal. Don't. I know how to deal with the likes of Don Yates. The one we need to worry about is Corvo Black.
Worker camp security is joining the fight against the rioters. Elimination confirmed, 47. Damn Nabazov and his virus. That's all I can find on this target, 47. Remember to review your intel. There should be enough information to locate him. One target down. Nice work, 47. Next up, Zoe Washington. Apparently, Jasper Knight is demanding that his girlfriend accompanies him to the Soviet Union, and he refuses to leave until he gets affirmation from his superiors in Moscow. The call will come through in the restricted but otherwise unguarded radio room.
That was about as fun as it looked.
An underground cave system with a submarine. This must be what ties the militia and the cartel together, 47.
Well done, 47. Morgan is on the move, and we know exactly where he is headed.
The target is on guard duty, somewhere in the farm's junkyard near the water tower. I wouldn't put it past them. The Shadow client is nothing if not industrious. Welcome to Columbia, 47. Your target is currently searching the jungle for the legendary and extinction-threatened white anaconda, known by the Aztecs as the Cloud Serpent. Locate Reddington, eliminate him, and recover his little black book. Good luck. Your target and his entourage have arrived on the first floor, 47.
Well, that's one approach. Remind me not to call you for tech support, 47.
Target down.
Well done, 47. I am still registering infected at the facility, however.
Once you've contained the situation, head for an exit. Excellent, 47. Now all that remains is to get inside the vault itself. The target is assigned to the vehicle pool. He's not on duty right now, but he should be in that area resting. 47, You're infected. You will need to find a solution for that. Lee has been eliminated. Good work, 47. Sister Yulder's eliminated. Good work, 47. Nabazov is next. Welcome to Bangkok, 47. Ken Morgan has booked the Queen Suite but has yet to check in. You will find him in and around the restaurant. Oddly enough, Jordan Cross seems completely unaware of his presence. Cross and the class have set up a recording studio in the Emperor's Suite on the 3rd floor. Private security around Cross and his entourage is highly capable. Still, I'm sure you can find your way into his inner circle. After all, today is Jordan Cross's 27th birthday. The age when rock stars die. Good luck, 47. Target eliminated. Well done, 47. No one else is infected. We've managed to contain the virus. Head for an exit as soon as you can. That was a non-target, 47. Stay focused.
Maybe you should ask Mr. Fernsby to see her. When you're done, meet me on the dance floor. Oh, and dress appropriately. Tobias, this is really not the best time to catch up.
Welcome to Hokkaido, 47. Several facial reconstruction patients are on site. I suggest you locate them and await additional information as I receive it. You may also wish to examine hospital records to discover more. Good hunting, 47.
Why don't you use your camera to scan the dead body, 47?
Hurry. I'm detecting movement up the road. A motorcade, possibly Reynard's. Confirmed, 47. Bradley Payne has been eliminated. Now focus on the poor sods he infected.
I could see you retired to a place like this. Winemaking speaks to your meticulous nature. Surely you don't plan to be Yates's fixer forever.
Virus destroyed. 2 targets remaining. The target is ex-Special Forces, recruited for an assault operation. He'll almost certainly be near the shooting range. Reddington's little black book retrieved. You made a difference today. Our clients will be pleased. Moonlighting as an art critic, 47. Before you move on, I suggest you hide your tracks. You have a much greater chance of success if your actions go undetected. The toilet should do the trick. According to church staff, Marco Abbiati wants to meet with local priest Father Francesco, a highly respected member of the Sapienza community. But Francesco is trying his best to dodge him. In fact, the priest has spoken out harshly against Abbiati on several public occasions. I wouldn't mind being a fly on the wall when those two exchange blows. Best of luck in your interview, 47. Let's see where this will lead you to.
Sean Rose was not the Shadow client. That much is clear. Whoever commands the militia, they got out just in time. Look around, 47. We're getting closer.
Excellent work, 47. Sierra Knox should be on her way to the emergency area.
That must be Janus's casket. Looks like the wake is about to start, but still no body. Question is how. He's not likely to come quietly. Unless you get your hands on a kill switch.
Interesting. That's quite the weapons cache. The Delgado cartel is infamous for gun running. I wonder if they are bringing them in or taking them out.
Good morning, 47. Your target is Vincente Murillo, a fascist militia leader thought to have disappeared. A prominent figure in the 1980s war against communism, we have intel that he has returned to continue his old mission of creating a new world order in South America, starting in Colombia. Our client, a well-known government agency, is worried that his reappearance will connect him directly to them. Intel provided by our client tells us that he is a narcissist, a pathological liar, and very paranoid, with a drinking habit. If he is to fulfill his dream of starting a fascist uprising, he could let the world know that our client has supported him back in the 80s. In the current unstable political climate, this could be an irreversible situation. Our client needs their past mistakes resolved. Times have changed. So good luck, 47. The main gate of the prison has been opened. The prisoners are escaping.
You're not the only one who's been busy, 47. I'm this close to becoming the next constant. I'll be able to dismantle Providence from the inside. Only one man stands in my way. Don Yates. That weasel was the partner's legal counsel for years. He's the top candidate. But remove him from the playing field.
Maison is attempting to leave. You have to stop him, 47.
I see what you're doing, 47. Helping the target along to locate the painting.
Cabco is on the move, 47. Not sure where he's headed. 47, Roman Cabco is making a run for it. Stop him before he gets away.
It looks like the butler has managed to mend your act of artistic vandalism, 47. He looks like he could use a rest. All right, 47. Let's make sure this is her last meal.
It appears that the target is receiving otoplastic surgery. Look for a patient with bandaged ears.
Oh, I believe Mr. Black here is something of a jack of all trades. Isn't that so?